All right, let me share the screen. So basically, these are the files. All right. So now you must be thinking, Prabhas, why you have shared so many files with us? The reason is being there. I'm not only going to train you with the Excel features or tools or formulas or functions, people. I'm also going to give you some helping hand in terms of some handy solutions. When you face some problems at your workplace or while working with the spreadsheet application, how to deal with the same without waiting for someone's support, how to deal with the same, we are going to discuss that also. So the first and foremost problem in our routine activities is the file data management or file space management. You would have also noticed when you start incorporating a data in a particular Excel file, one fine morning, the Excel file size gets increased all and sudden, and you don't have any idea or control what and how it has happened. And when you present the same in the meeting also, it takes a lot of time to open, and people get frustrated because you are keeping them waiting over there. And sometimes some people pass some adverse remarks in the meeting rooms as well. So in that case, we do not have any idea how to deal with, and if we do not want to take the risk because we have a fear maybe of losing the data. So what I suggest is there is a Word document I have shared with you. No need to do anything. Just watch what is this document about. It is containing 8 different ways how to reduce your Excel file size very precisely. It is written along with the screenshots. And over here, if you just want to know, I'll take you through one simple example. See, I had a file of 14.6 MB, but when I opted this method, I could reduce my file size by another 28% without impairing a single data, without eliminating a content, without deleting any of our charts, graphs, or anything. So that's the biggest achievement. And like this, there are 8 different ways we do have. So on your idle time, I request everyone go to this file and read the entire things over here, whatever we have prescribed. That is definitely going to give a helping hand. Now, the other file, what I have shared with you over here is called keyboard shortcuts. So in today's world, time is money. Whatever the task we do in our routine activities, though it is a formula, functions, or any other kind of data entry work, we should save some time. And for that reason, you have to take some acceptance, like you have to stop using the mouse uses the most, and you have to start using the keyboard shortcuts. And trust me, once you are thorough with all the keyboard shortcuts, you can save minimum of your 1 to 2 hours of time of your day. So here in this document, in this workbook, I have shared not only the MS Excel related keyboard shortcuts, MS Word, MS PowerPoint, MS Outlook as well. It is shared over here. So only thing is you have to invest your time and start using the same in your routine activities. There is no other shortcuts to learn the shortcuts. Okay. So this is again for your practicing purpose I have shared. There is one more file I have shared called Learn Excel Free. In this notepad, I have shared some 10 website names. Now you must be thinking, Prabhas, why are you sharing the website names? The reason is being there. Excel is not a subject that can be confined to 16 or 24 hours of training program, people. It's a vast, it's an ocean. So now, after attending this 16 hours of training program, suppose you have a wish to enhance your skill, to learn more further, where to go? So instead of waiting for someone's YouTube channel going here and there, I would suggest go to all these websites, okay? And you'll be getting a lot of handy tips and tricks, contents, and industry-based case studies, which you can correlate at your workplace. And the beauty is, entire thing is complimentary. You don't need to pay a single penny for that. Only thing is you have to invest your time and you can groom yourself further. So this is again the website names where you can always refer. Now, there is one more notepad file I have shared with you, naming called Office Repair. So if you open, you'll be finding 2 website links over here. Now the question is, Prabhas, why are you share the website links? The reason is also there. While working in our spreadsheet application data, people, you would have created a very beautiful report or many more files you would be dealing with. But after a certain time, after 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months, or 1 year, when you try to reopen those files, it shows some kind of error. What kind of error? Excel data is corrupted. Excel is unable to read your data. The moment you try to open the file, immediately it goes for crash. All these problems we encounter with. So now the question is how to retrieve our data. Even though you try hard, nothing is working for you. Now only option you have to depend upon your IT department. And when you go for IT support, they ask for 24 to 48 hours of time. And suppose you have a tomorrow meeting and this file is very much needed for you, and today this is the status of that file. So just think about it. In that situation, instead of wasting your time and waiting for someone support people, I would suggest go to one of the link and go to your Edge, Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, and paste this link over there. And it will take you to a website where you can download a tool, and the tool's maximum going to occupy 50 to 100 kbs of your space, and you have to install it. And then whichever the Excel file is corrupted, you have to go for connecting that file with the browse button, and you have to click the repair button. And trust me, it will take its own time, no doubt, but it will retrieve your 95% of your data as it is. Now you must be thinking, Prabhas, why did you reserve 5% as data loss? What kind of data there would be a loss? Yes. If you have created some kind of engineering diagrams, or if you have created some kind of your breakdown structure, process flow diagram, taking the shapes, connectors, and all those things, there might be a chance of data loss. And the beauty is, entire thing is complimentary. You don't need to pay a single penny for that for retrieve of your data. But yes, there is a limitation. You can get complimentary service only up to 5 MB of Excel file size. If your Excel file is exceeding 5 MB, then you have to purchase a license for that. Because we know these guys also, they have to win their bread and butter, right? And we know one thing, there is no such kind of thing called free lunch in this world. So you have to pay for everything, right? So this is how people, these are the helping hand purpose, the files I have shared with you, some connecting links also, and rest of the files is nothing but we have understood the business scenarios and the pain areas of the corporate world, and we have collected few samples from accounts, finance, production, planning, HR, or stores, whichever department you name it, you will be finding the data set in our case studies. So I'll be taking you through those case studies, and our sole objective would be how to save our turnaround time, how to increase our productivity and efficiency, how to avoid the duplication of work, and how to reduce the human errors. So in this 16 hours, you are going to focus only on these four aspects. Okay, so this is about our file details. Now, coming to our platform. Since it is a virtual platform, people, little bit of awareness is required. You must be using this platform in your day-to-day routine activities, meeting, conducting purpose, no doubt. But still, it's my part of duty. Since it is a virtual platform, it is not something just one end I will be keep communicating and you have to only listen. This is two-way communications. Like if you have any queries, if you have any doubts, you can always use the mic button. So you can unmute your mic, you can speak about your queries, and definitely I will respond to that then and there. If you believe your mic is not working or lot of disturbance around you, so please use the chat box option. This chat will be always on. You can drop your queries. By reading your queries, I will definitely help you out. If you believe your audio exchange or text exchange is not enough to clarify the query, still you need my presence on your screen, we do have an option called screen sharing option. And whenever you want to share your screen, I request do not share your window. I repeat, do not share your window. Always share your desktop or the screen. Because if you share your window, the dialog box launchers will be missing. It will not be displayed on the screen. So you have to be very particular on that. And regarding the queries, yes, if your queries are related to the subject matter, what we are discussing, I'll be taking enough time to clarify then and there. If the queries are related to your personal data or the work data, what you're handling, and you want to ask those queries, we'll be utilizing our break window, or at the end of the session, I'll be spending some 5 to 10 minutes to clarify all your queries. So this is how we are going to manage our window time. And of course, in the meantime, we'll be taking a short break of 10 to 15 minutes, depending upon the flow of the content. Somewhere around 4 to or 4:30 p.m. we'll be taking that call. Okay. So I believe we are clear with all our instructions. Now, instead of being alien to each other in this meeting room, let's have a quick introduction so that you can ask your questions in the comfort zone. You can make our session more interactive. And the moment you step out, you will be having a lot of confidence to make the things better. So I will start with myself. My name is Prabhas Panda. Past 17 years, I have been to MS Office training and consulting. And I own a small organization called naming Excel for All. We have got pan-India presence. And of course, we do deliver corporate trainings in pan-India. And this kind of weekend workshops, because it's a pandemic, we are running virtually. Else we conduct our classes in the business class hotels in the major cities across India. And by academics, I'm a chartered accountant. I have done my MBA Finance from Madras University. I'm a certified ethical hacker also. Don't worry, I'm not going to hack anything from your systems. Be safe and secure. And I have done my SAP FICO certifications from Siemens. So this is a brief introduction about me. Now I am more interested to know about you as well as the expectation from this 16 hours training program. The reason of taking down your expectation is very simple. As I told you, Excel is such a subject. In fact, 6 months training is also not enough to equip someone in Excel. So instead of taking you through a generic content, what you needed the most, if I could deliver, that is going to give you more helping edge to be over there, right? All right, so I will start with our friend. I'll call out the name. You have to help yourself, people. So I'll start with our friend Narendra. Narendra, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Prabhas.
Yeah.
I'm Narendra Chincholkar.
Mhm.
This is an introduction, right?
Yeah.
It's a normal introduction. So I'm working in a strategy department in PNB MedLife
Mhm.
over 2 years and overall 15 years experience in insurance sector.
Mhm. Okay. So what's your expectation, Narendra, from this 16 hours training program?
Expectation is yes. As I as I'm working in a strategy department, so the expectation is being well versed in Excel, advanced Excel, so that as you said, the work will get more easier for me and reduce time. Excel
Okay.
related work get reduced.
Right. Right. Okay. So next I'll go to Preeti.
Hi, my name is Preeti and I work for a finance organization. I'm looking to learn Excel and advanced Excel so that it helps me in my day-to-day activities in office. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Next, Santhan.
Hi, am I audible?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Myself, I have 14 years of experience in FMCG sector. Presently, I'm working as an area manager of Ulsa in private company. And my expectation from Excel is four things to enhance myself and doing the complicated Excel files in later time.
Okay. Yeah. Next, I'll go to Shruti.
Hi, Prabhas. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hi, Shruti.
My expectation from this session is I wanted to learn some shortcuts, good way of data presentation, which would ease my work.
Okay. Fine. Next, I'll go to Tanuj.
Hi, Prabhas. Am I audible?
Yeah.
My name is Tanuj, and I'm MBA finance student. I'm right now in a final year.
Mhm.
My basic expectation from the course is to have a hands-on experience and knowledge on MS Excel so that it will help me out in the future for my day-to-day and corporate job profile.
Right. Very good. All right, friends. So I believe I have noted down all your expectations. So anything is missing, you're always welcome in this 16 hours of training session. But one thing for sure, you have to commit for one thing. Nothing is possible overnight. So you have to give dedicatedly some time for practice. So each and every session wise, you will be getting the recordings. Don't worry. So suppose any point of time you have got a bad internet or network connectivity or something because of reasons you could not make it out the entire session. You can always go back to your recordings and follow that and be ready for the next session. So don't be in the confidence, okay, that okay, I have learned everything on my idle time, I'll go and practice. 50% of things will be completely forgotten. So this is the reason why it's my kind request. You can take it and each and every session wise, whatever things you have learned, immediately start implementing at your workplace if you are a regular work or core user of Excel, or keep practicing. That is very, very essential. All right. So now, being an Excel user, the first thing we should know about is Excel version. Which version of Microsoft Excel we are working with? That is very, very essential to know. The reason is Microsoft has come up with many more versions, people starting from 1985, the inception. Today, we are in 2021 version of Microsoft Excel. Now, during this entire evolution, there are a lot of features Microsoft has enabled with many more versions. So, being a layman, being a user, if I want to know which version of Microsoft Excel I'm working with, how will I know that? So, first thing, go to any Excel file. Go to any of your Excel file, and there is a file button over here, file menu. Okay. If you go to file, there is an option called account. If you go to this account, and this will be showing now which version of Microsoft Excel you are working with. So I'm working in Microsoft 365. So similarly, please find out your own version and drop me a message in the chat box. Is it 2013 or 2016 or 2019 or 2021 or Office 365? So please find out and quickly drop me a message. Okay, so Narendra is having Office 365. Well and good. Yes, people. How about others? Okay. Preeti is also having Office 365. That's nice. So what is the point of how it is so relevant while working in Excel, knowing the version is, I'll tell you, whatever you have in Office 365, you may not be having in other versions, especially in Excel point of view. If you are talking about some formulas, some functions, some features, some AI tools, you will not have in any other versions except Microsoft Office 365. So if you happen to see any of your teammates or any of your friends, they are doing this, their job quite easiest way, or with no time, you also start expecting that I can also do the same similar fashion. But when you come back to your workstation or your laptop when you're working with, you don't find such kind of functions or such kind of tools in your MS Excel window. So don't be panic. This is because of the versions difference. So I'll tell you in during this entire 16 hours of journey, which option is available in Office 365 and it is not there in any other versions. So in that case, only thing is you have to upgrade your system to Office 365. So now you can ask me a question, Pravas. Okay, you are dealing with all these versions. What is your best recommendation? If I have a personal laptop, which version of Microsoft Office I should work? I would always suggest go for Office 365. I know this is a bit expensive, but you will be getting all the flavors about your templates, formulas, functions, features, AI tools as it is in Office 365. You can save a lot of time. Anyway, so now the moment we have understood what is that versions we have got with us, then let's go to our sample case studies. And there we have a file called corporate case studies. You can see it is there. Kindly open that. So this will take you to a cover page. You can click on the next button. You will be finding a sheet called Business Maths. In this sheet, we are going to discuss certain examples, what we have collected from our routine activities. We do a lot of basic calculations, but the problem is we spend a lot of time for doing the same. So we have collected few samples from our routine activities. If this kind of calculations are there, though it is a basic one, but how to do some improvements on that so that we could execute the task with no time. So I'll take you through one by one and we'll discuss it. So please confirm you got the same worksheet open in front of your screen. File name, corporate case studies. Sheet name, business maths. Could you please confirm in the chat box Y for yes or D for done? This is how I'll keep on asking a lot of questions, people, in this 16-hour journey. Is it done? Are you with me? Are you clear? Have you understood? So this is a simple message for you. This question is seeking a support from your side with a one-line answer. Y for yes or D for done. So that will be helping me to understand you are with me and we are good to go for the next topic. Okay. So this is how effectively we can utilize our window time. No issues. Now let's go for the first one. You can notice the first is showing product of value. So let me put it in a story format so that everybody can connect with it. Suppose say somebody from the purchase team, he came and asked me, Prabhas, I need to purchase 3 products, XYZ, ABC, anything you name it. Suppose A of 1,000 quantities, B of 12, C of 20 quantities to be purchased. When I inquired with the vendor, I got the rates. A of 1 rupee each, B of 20 rupees each, C of 10 rupees each. Now, when I took up this matter to the finance team and I asked for a check, then the finance people, they asked me, Prabhas, how much amount of check you need? So I need to tell them. So how will I express them? What is the total amount of check supposed to be? So what we do in that case, we go to, no need to do anything. I'm just doing on behalf of all, just watch my screen. We go to a new column. We type a formula is equal to quantity multiplied by rate. And then we go for a total. Then we realize, okay, I need to collect a check amount of 1,440 rupees. This is how we do. Do you agree? If you understood the situation, if I need to answer to my finance team, this is how I should express. No doubt. And whatever we did is absolutely fine, absolutely correct, nothing wrong. But let us analyze the same situation. Our entire story lies in this particular cell. My people are interested, my finance team is interested in knowing this only. But what is the point of getting all these 3 values? No idea. We are helpless. Unless and until we get all these 3, this total cannot be achieved. And that forced us to get all these 3 values. Well, waste of time. Second thing, the drawback. When I create a new column and apply my own formulas, the data becomes unwanted, no doubt. And along with the formula, when I apply, the file size is also getting heavy. Of course, yes. So now can you realize why our file size is getting heavy? This is one of the reasons. We keep creating unwanted columns. All right. So how to make some improvements in this? Just see. There is a cell called total cost. Okay. So 1 minute, watch my screen, observe what I'm doing. Next 1 minute, you can try. Don't worry. See, I have a total cost. I'll go for a formula naming called sum product. Okay. So sum product is very powerful formula since 1985 it is there, and technically we call it as an array formula. But here, while writing the formula also, we need to write it efficiently. We need to save some time while writing the formula. How? I'll tell you, just see. When I go for writing sum, I don't need to spend time for writing the entire sum product characters. I can simply go for sum and P. Can you see sum product formula is already showing in highlighted blue color? So it's a simple message. Now I am ready for next level. So hit the tab key, TAB tab key from the left side. Automatically the entire formula will be embedded in the cell till your open parenthesis label. So this is the smart way of writing your formula to save your time. Type SUM first 2 to 3 key letters, Once you find the entire formula is expressed in blue color, hit the tab button. Now, as I told you, this is an array formula. So what it demands me is the array 1. So this is my first array. I can take it, comma. Next, it is asking array 2. This is my second array. Done. Now, the moment I hit enter, can you see the same data? It is populating now, answer of 1440. Now, even though you have got 10,000 records, you don't need to be worried about this. Just a simple formula is doing the job for you. So check it out and confirm this formula is working for you people. So how to write our sum product? Is there any doubt, queries, or anybody struggling not getting the answer? Feel free to ask. Don't hesitate. Yeah, Narendra, you have multiple columns you can see. Array is not limited. If you go for the formula, it is asking array 1, array 2, array 3. Suppose you have got 10 columns also, you want to multiply one by one. You can have this as a array. So that's what the beauty of this formula. So there is no limitations of arrays over here. So up to 256 arrays, you can use it. All right. Right. So Shruti and Narendra, they have confirmed. Tanuj, what is the status? And Sayantan, what's about you? Okay. In the horizontal way.
Sir, as you know, my
Yeah.
Excel is not working today.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm just watching today.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Okay. Can you select the array in horizontal way? Okay. So suppose say this is what the data you have. Fine. You want to go for it. Well, you can do that even. See, array is not confined to only vertical. Horizontal also array will be there. Now take an example over here. 1000 multiplied by 1, 12 multiplied by 20. This is what we did it. Okay. Now this data we have to go for array. This is array 1. This is array 2. This is array 3. Fine. So what you can do, simple. Let's go and check it out. Sum product. Okay. Now this is my array, first array. Okay. Comma. This is my second array. Comma. This is my third array. I can go for it. Now, the moment I hit enter, this is giving the result also there. So you can check it out if it is of 1000. Okay, fine. Now this is of 240. Yes, this is of 200. So when you multiply all these three, how much you are getting? This multiplied with this, again multiplied with this. Are you getting the same? No. So what is the thing missing over here? What it is turning up? Because here, what we did, we have done with this multiply. Okay, this data, then this data, then this data. Then we are making a total of that, right? So what is happening? When you go for the formula, since it is an array formula, as I told you in the beginning, so it works only with the array. But array doesn't confine to your vertical or horizontal. And why this is giving a trouble for me in this format if I go for it? Because sum and product, this is combining together over here. You know, say if you break up the formula, sum with product. So first it does the product, then it goes for sum of that. So mostly what is be happening, our data, we will be looking for the column, then we'll go for the rows. This is how the technology, it has been built. So what is the bottom line from this is, if I go for the array in terms of horizontal format, it will not give the right answer. So this is what the array formula, and array concept is different, Tanuj. Over here, I'll tell you. Mostly we end up with our formula, any formula you write. Suppose say we write VLOOKUP formula. Okay. How you close the formula? We go with enter. If you go for enter, formula is giving the result. But when you go for array formula, what it happens, we have to close with Control Shift and Enter. So what is the difference between enter and Control Shift Enter? I'll tell you. See, when you look at your formula bar, can you see now VLOOKUP formula is there? Always formula closes with close parenthesis. But in our case, since I am defining as a array formula, before equal to up and after VLOOKUP, can you see one curly braces is there? So this is called your array formula. So Control Shift and Enter. Instead of enter, we go for Control Shift and Enter. So that is a different concept array formula. So for the time being, you can take a call. Yes, this data, when you go for horizontal array, okay, this is not going to give me the result over here. All right. So some product, how it works. Hope we are clear. Right. Now we'll go for,
Basically,
yeah,
sorry to.
no problem, no
So
problem.
basically, Prabhas, this is adding overall quantity, sum of quantity and sum of rate, and then it multiplies. How it works?
Yeah,
Some
this
product.
some product. See, first, what is that formula? When you write a formula, I'll tell you formula how it works. When you go for equal to VLOOKUP, and sometimes we write before VLOOKUP some formulas. Okay, like if error. Sometimes we go and apply. Now, which one is executed first? If you go for giving the instruction to Excel, so first Excel try to populate VLOOKUP formula, not if error. If error comes later. So this is how the strategy, the formula works. That's called nested formula. So when you go for multiple formula, the inner formula first will be executed, then it will come to the outer formula. Similarly, here the moment you go for our formula, as I told you, what we did the basic manual calculation, we go for our formula equal to this multiply by this value. Now, when I go for dragging the same, what happens? Every cases quantity multiplied by rate. It goes for that, right? Now, when I go for the total, this gives me the 1440 value. Same thing it does over here. So it will just take each and every row item and multiply the value, and then it will go for a sum of that. Right. So now we are going to discuss over here. The next type is called our vendor evaluation. Okay. So mostly in any industry, wherever we are working with, our purchase department, they have their own standard operating procedure, isn't it? And what they say, if you are purchasing a critical item, you should not depend upon with a single source of supply. And what they suggest to us, you should always go for minimum 3 competitive quotes, and we technically call them L1, L2, L3. Do you agree, all of you? Now, we have got a prices column, you can see. Now, if I ask you, please find out the L1 price for me, what would be that? Anybody? In this prices column, L1 should be 87. L2,
99.2,
very good. L3,
103.2.
right. So this is how we have manually identified. Since we had maximum 7 to 8 items, it was not so difficult for us. Now take an example. When you open the file, there are 10,000 records like this. And if you happen to find your L1, L2, L3 out of that, how will you do that? Yes, whatever things it comes to your mind, whatever the way you do, you can express.
You can sort.
Yes,
Sort.
right.
So it's no.
Right. We go for selecting the data and we go for sorting the same with smallest to largest order. And whatever the line items appears in the top, that we consider as our L1, L2, L3. and we highlight them, we color them, we drop a mail to our superior stating that we have done the ground level of working, and this is what our L1, L2, L3 suppliers. So kindly approve this and give us a green signal so that we can start procuring the material. So our bosses also looking at the same, they're quite happy and immediately they give us the green signal. This is how the practice we have and this is how we operate in the corporate. Do you agree? Right. Nothing wrong. Whatever we are discussing, it's absolutely correct. What you are doing also absolutely fine. But my question is very simple. In this entire process, where is the value addition? Because the task what I do of sorting, anybody can do. I could have given this task to one of my teammate. I could have given this task to my one of my, I mean, my office boy also, because nowadays office boy also comes with minimum of MS Office literacy, right? So being a professional, being a skilled person, why I am doing this kind of task which is non-productive in nature? So if you realize anywhere is a value addition of your work, sorting anybody can do, mailing also anybody can do, boss is also giving us just a green signal looking at your rates. So anybody can do that. Why I'm spending my time? We never realize all those things. Trust me. That's why the quality of work is missing in our workplace. So the task which we are supposed to do, we should do that. Not the ground level of workings which could have been done by some XYZ and I should start sitting and doing the job. Right? So this is how people, there are so many tasks we do in our routine activities which is non-productive in nature. So we need to be very careful finding those areas and we have to educate our people and we should get it done by them, not by yourself. Anyway, so now how to make some improvements in this? One thing for sure, this is just not one time task. Every time if there is a new product comes or my boss wants to go for a new product, I have to again go for the same data to sort it out, smallest to largest. And based on that product, whatever it comes, the three line items, again, I have to drop a mail. So this is a recurring action. Okay. So how to make some improvements on that? Let's go and have a discussion. So here for your things to make it dynamic, I have created a column called bottom three. So instead of just sorting the data or manually identifying our L1, L2, L3, let's see how to get it just immediately. So here we do some changes in our approach. What is that? Suppose I want to type a formula. What I do or what we do exactly, we go to write to a cell in the formula over there and then we drag it down, copy paste or double click on the fill handle. This is the practice we have. So today we are going to stop. What is the practice we are going to develop is wherever I need to design the solution, that solution area cells first I will select. I selected. So first 1 minute, watch my screen, please. I will go for a immediate. I will take my mouse cursor or touchpad out. I'll go for equal to. You can see the data range is already selection and equal to is also started typing. Okay, what is the formula? We have a formula naming called small, a very beautiful formula. And then over here, okay, taking this range, this is my array, right? Now, when I copy this formula towards down, this array, the blue color border area, it should not move down. So what we should do for this and what is the practice we have? Anybody? If I copy this formula down, this array, which is moving and like that, it should not move down. What we do in that case? We go for application of dollar symbol. Am I right? So this kind of dollar symbol, how do you apply? With F4, the key called F4. And it starts from E12, ends up with E17. So what does it mean? When the dollar symbol is appearing before E, your E becomes log. E is a column, column becomes log. When it is appear before 12, 12 is the row becomes log. So in a cell, when column and row both is logged, ultimately that we call it as cell log, cell constant or cell freeze, or range log, range constant or range freeze. Okay. Now comma, what is that it is demanding? It is demanding k. What is the meaning by k? K is nothing but the ranking or the number or the integer. So in our L1 case, what should be the ranking? The question itself answer is there. L1 rank should be 1. L2 rank should be 2. L3 rank should be 3. So basically, in this K place, we want 1, 2, and 3. But we cannot define all these three numbers together in the formula. And neither we can go to each and every cell and edit the formula. So what we have done, we have created one more column. In column G, you can see already 1, 2, 3 is there. So I'll be taking that cell help. G12, it contains already 1. That 1 is going to be happening as K for my small formula. So already G12 1 is there, L1 purpose 1, we got it. Now formula is ready only for a cell, but I need to apply for rest. Control, enter. So normally we end up with enter, but today we are going to end up with control enter. And see the beauty? With immediate effect, you will be getting your solution ready. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, you can make use of this formula naming called small. So whenever you have any templates or any kind of tabular data, summary report, dashboards, anything, you can make use of this small formula. So just use this and confirm you are getting the results. Any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask.
Sir, Shantan here.
Yeah.
I just want to know that the need part of the formula, that the G, when you insert the G, that I cannot able to understand properly. Can you say that?
Right. So here, the moment we go for the formula, it was demanding me. See the elements. First, it is asking me array. I have defined, I have logged it. What is the next thing it was asking? K, right? Formula. Can you see that? K is asking. That is the next input. So K is nothing but it is the integer or ranking. See, we are supposed to find three values like L1, L2, L3. What is the meaning of L1? The lowest one. L2, second lowest. L3, third lowest. So this is also having a rank 1, 2, and 3. So if that rank is there, then only I can get the result. So that is what it is demanding. K purpose, we need to have 1, 2, and 3. But we cannot define it manually all together in the formula. That's why we have taken a helper column where already 1, 2, 3 is written. So when I take G12, since G12 is already containing 1, that 1 value will become my K value for small formula. That's why we have taken that. Okay.
So if I suppose if I write 3 number G column, there is a third lowest formula will appear.
Yes, automatically when you copy the formula down, it will move. No, G12 will move to G13. So what is there in G13? G13 is there 2. Then when you go and copy the formula towards further down, it will move to G14. G14 is already containing 3. So automatically your K value is changing.
No, sir. I'm just not asking that. I'm just asking if suppose I can the third lowest number from this. Okay, only third lowest number. And suppose I in G column, I will write down 3.
Yeah, simple. Yes. Yes, whatever you want. If you want particular that, okay, I want the third one or third lowest or fifth lowest, you can directly put the number as 3 or 5 also. One cell answer you will be receiving. It's not an issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Narendra, we are going to do that. We are going to do that. Don't worry. So small formula, two things over here. One, why we have applied the dollar symbol and how we have applied by using F4. What is the usage of this 1, 2, 3 in the formula to define our K value? This is what we have got the discussion of small formula. Is it clear for everyone? All right. Now, similarly, suppose say I want to find out my top three values. Okay. So how to get that? Just 1 minute, watch my screen. As we develop the practice, as I told you, first select your three cells. Fine. Then keep your mouse aside, equal to. What will be the opposite of small? We know large. Same thing. So taking the array again, I will take this. This should not move down or move right. So we have logged it with F4 key, comma. Again, this is demanding K over here, right? So in the previous case, K purpose, we have used this cell. Again, I'm going to use this also over here. Now, when I go for this bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for the entire range. And as we discussed, what is the shortcut? Control, enter, and we got the things ready. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, you can make use of this small and large formula in the templates or summary reports. So please give it a try and check this is working. Now, let us analyze the same situation for one more time. This is what we have created and this is how we have presented. No problem. So I'm taking two names. Suppose say our friend Tanuj and Narendra. So Tanuj and Narendra, if I take your name for the story, is that okay? Any objection?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Now suppose say our friend Tanuj has created all these formulas in a template and he has presented the same to Narendra. Okay, and Narendra is watching and he feels that why Tanuj has taken all this unwanted column. In Narendra's opinion, this is unwanted and he has deleted. What happens now? Can you see? This is what most of the time it happens. We create something, people feel unwanted, they delete, and the formula will be in toss. So now what you have understood, whatever we did, taking the helper column, our experts, they do suggest like this to do the job. But Excel never recommends for that. Neither I do advise it. So over here, now the question is how to get the answer. See, just 1 minute, watch my screen. Helper column is not allowed. Reason, making my file size heavy, unwanted data, waste of time. So in this case, how to get the answer? See the beauty. What we are going to do, we are going to need those things. 1, 2, 3, we need it, but we are going to make our formula efficient enough in such a way. It is going to generate same 1, 2, 3 in the formula itself and making our job done. How? Just see. 1 minute, please watch my screen. I have selected all these three cells. I will go for equal to large. I will take the array, blocking the same, you know the reason. Then I'm going to use a formula. What is that? There is a formula in our Excel naming called row. So when you go for row formula, the basic job of row formula is whichever the row I'm typing this formula. So right now, which row I am in? If you look at row number 12. So I'm operating in row number 12. So row number 12 will be the answer. So 12 will be the answer. Just see whether it is going to give me 12. Yes. But what I am looking for, what I am expecting is 1. The helper column G12 1 was there. So row formula is already giving me 12, but I am expecting 1. Basic mathematics. What we can do? Minus 11. Simple. Bracket close. Formula is ready only for a cell. But we need to apply for the rest. Shortcut. Control. Enter. And see the beauty. Without using any kind of helper column, we could create our answer. So this is how we can keep creating lot of nested formulas and making our formula efficient enough. Unwanted columns is not required. Unwantedly file size also will not be heavy. So just give it a try and check it's working. So once you complete your large formula, let's go for a practice finding the bottom 3 also, the small formula with the similar pattern. Going to array, locking the same, and then using the row formula, then minus 11. Yeah, that's a good question, Shruti. So why 11? See, now which row you are in? Shruti, for you, the question is, which row I am in right now in my screen?
Yes. It's 12.
Right. So earlier what it was? 1 over here. Did you recall?
Yeah, it was 1 over there.
Right. So basically, right now, if I'm looking for equal to row formula, this is giving me 12, but I am expecting 1 in place of 12. So what I'm supposed to do? Minus 11, then only I can get 1. And the same when I go and drag it down, is it generating 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, got it then.
So this is what we did it by formula, keeping it together in the large itself.
Prabhas,
Yes.
so related to this query, if we don't type this minus 11, instead of that, can we directly type 1?
Yeah, you can type
The
1,
same,
but 1 will not automatically become 2, right? You can type
Yeah.
1. You can get only the first value, but here it will getting 134 only. 134 will never get changed to 111 because 1 will never get changed to 2 automatically. So this is the reason why we are making it dynamic by using this kind of formulas.
Got it.
Right.
that -1 will be carried on to the all three rows, right?
Yes, that is what it is happening. You can see also -11 because row is changing, 12 to 13, -11, 2. Again, row is changing for the third case, row is the 14 and -11, it's 3,
Yeah, okay.
right? Fine. So I consider that how to use this formulas, as I told you, when you are creating some kind of templates, summary reports, or dashboards, these formulas you'll be using the most. Okay. Now we'll go
Sir,
to,
I
yeah.
just want to know one thing. Sir,
Yes,
hello.
yes, I can hear you. Tell me.
I just want to know one thing that when you are putting in one, you are putting so fast. Is there any shortcut to put on, or you are just putting the shift color like that?
No, 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 no. You have to go for keyboard shortcut, the F4 key. F4 key is designed to define your dollar symbol. So whenever you go and type in any formula, suppose say I'm in this cell over here and I'm typing a formula related to this cell. So I can directly go for F4. It will be applying $2 symbol. If F4 is not working for you, you have to use function with F4, function with F4 in that case. If F4 is not a direct key, it is doing some kind of multimedia activities like your, I mean, audio is getting reduced or your display system is getting reduced, something like that is happening. You have to use function with F4. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So small and large, how to use it? We got a clarity on that. Now we'll go for our basic rounding of our data. Okay. So here, this is, we have the data in prices column. You can see some decimals with some whole numbers. We have got the situation. Now looking at the same, my boss is saying, Prabhas, this decimals, you keep it with you. In the next column, what I am expecting from you is you should round up the data to the nearest one unit. So what is the meaning by rounding up the data to the nearest one unit? Ideally, how do you do the logical roundup? 103.2 is there. If I want to round up, what is the value we are populating? We go for 103. If it is of 111.5, what is the value we are populating? 112. Do you agree? So here, if you analyze one case, we are taking one unit down, one case we are taking one unit up. How do you decide that? We are not deciding that. This is what it is decided by the post decimal character. If post decimal character 5 or more than 5 is there, we go for one unit up. If it is less than 5, we go for one unit down. Okay. So here, this is what the understanding we have. No problem. Now 103.2 purpose, if I want to round off by nearest one unit, what would be the probabilities? What is the possibilities of the values? Either 103 or 104. It will be in between these two only. Do you agree? If you are looking at 103.2, when I round off, it will be either 103 or 104. Isn't it? So 103.2 purpose, 103 is the lower unit, 104 is the upper unit. Okay, this is the understanding we have. No problem. Now, here to answer this question, we always depend upon round formula. Most of the time, 95% users across the globe, they use round formula only. But Microsoft has made some improvements on that. So let's see what is that improvement Microsoft has made and how it is so beneficial to us and how this is going to work, we are going to discuss. So here, one thing we are going to do now is called M round. M stands for multiple. First 1 minute, watch my screen. What it demands me? Number. So prices column number I have taken, comma. What is the next thing it is asking? Multiple. What is the meaning by multiple? We are not going to multiply with any value. Multiple has the meaning, whatever the data you have, if you want to round off, this 103 becomes lower unit, 104 becomes upper unit. Now, what is the difference between these two? 104 minus 103, is it of 1 unit? Yes. Now, whatever is round off going to happen, 1 unit up or 1 unit down only. So this is what your multiple. Formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control, enter, and see the beauty. With immediate effect, I could get my answer. So one formula, again, going to be enough. And whenever you are designing the templates, you can keep all these formulas ready. And when the users types any of the decimal data, that will be automatically taken care by Microsoft Excel. You can use round also, no problem. But since there is a new formula has come, how this is going to help you, I have made the basic understanding. So it is not different from round as such. It is the same as it is round formula, only giving the result. So kindly check M round is giving the result to you.
Prabhas, I got the result, but just now you said control enter. What was that?
Yes. See, ideally what it happens, suppose say, when I want in this complete range, I want a text to be populated called Excel. Okay. Or say your name to be populated. What you do if you want to write your own name in this entire range? We go for writing in a cell, and then we go for Control C to copy, and then we go for selecting the range and we go for paste. This is one option we do always have, right?
Yes, yeah.
Else, if you are very fond of using mouse, we go and drag it like this, and we drag it like this also. This is also one technique we use, correct?
Right.
Else, what you can do, you can select your whole range, and then you can fill it by Control D to fill down, fill right, Control R to fill right. You can do that also. This is one technique. But in each and every techniques you see, we have to do for two times. One is for towards down, again one is for towards right. This is what the operations we do have at all these states, correct?
Yes.
So what we have done now, instead of doing this activity for two different times, we have selected the array, we have kept our cursor aside, we started typing. It has started typing in the first cell of the range. Can you see that? And the cursor is still blinking in that cell. Can you see? Right. Now, if I go for enter, what is going to happen? That cell alone is going to be closed. But if I go for control enter, it will go and apply for the entire selected array. So that's why we have been using control enter to apply the data for the entire range, neither towards down nor towards right, but the complete range.
Okay, so to do this, we need to put our mouse cursor outside, then select it.
No, we have the very bad practice. What is the why I'm telling you now? Though we select, again we go and take our mouse pointer, we click that. So there it disturbs.
Yes.
So that's the reason to avoid this. I asked you first you select, then leave your mouse.
Got it now. Okay.
Yeah. So M round, any questions from anybody?
Can you explain that one after the cell number E22, how that one came?
Okay. Say over here, the moment we discussed 103.2 is there. If you do not know what is post decimal character and if you want to round off to the nearest one unit, so for 103.2, if I don't know the decimal, what will be the nearest one unit? It can be one unit up or one unit down also. I cannot always say that it should be always one unit up, correct? If I do not know the post decimal character, either this or that, it can be one of them, correct? So when I go for the decision 103.2, for 103.2, 103 is the lower unit. 104 is the upper unit. Now, what is the difference between these two?
1.
That is what we are doing. So multiple has the meaning is equal to m round, taking the data, whatever the round off is going to happen, either one unit up or one unit down. So we have gone for this.
So in this formula, ideally it will be always 1.
Absolutely. Whenever there is a logical round off to be done, you have to always go with 1.
Okay.
Right.
I have a question regarding this.
Uh-huh.
I have a question regarding this.
Yeah, I heard that.
Suppose the digit means the prices are if I want to keep the price in 2 decimal means 103 rupees 25 paisa, but decimal is showing 516 decimal. So how come I do that on that time?
See, for that, the best option, I would not recommend any kind of formulas to again going and making your file size heavy. You simply go for over here, selecting your data, whatever you have, convert the data into number format. How? When you go for converting your data to number format, we have a keyboard combination shortcut key, Control, Shift, and 1. So when I go for Control, Shift, and 1, just see, immediately post decimal, 2 characters uniformly, it will be applied. This is the best solution. Control Shift 1 to convert any format to number format. Right. Now, over here, the moment we go for this, okay, this is what we have got clarity. Now, suppose say my boss asked one more question, Prabhas, if this is the price column, just do one thing, round up the data to the nearest 5 unit. So what is the meaning by nearest 5 unit round up? So if I go for 103.2, what would be the answer in this? Yes, people? Well, Shruti is saying 100. Okay. Any other answers?
Can you repeat the question?
The question is, if my price is of 103.2, my boss is expecting that in the next column over here, the prices has to be rounded off to the nearest 5 unit. So let me put it in a very simplified fashion. Suppose I have created a scale of 5 skip count. Suppose I have created a scale of 5 skip count like 0, 5, 10, 15, 20 like this. Now, which interval this 103.2 is going to fall? Is it going to fall between 100 and 105? Do you agree? right, people? So, which is the nearest one out of these two for 103.2? Which is the nearest one? 105. So that should be the answer. Pretty simple. But as I told you the logic to check, 103.2 purpose, 100 is the lower unit, 105 is the upper unit. What is the difference between these two? Is it of 5 units? 105 minus 100. Same thing going to be our multiple. So similarly, if you talk about 87, if I need to answer over here, what will be the answer for 87? So 87 is going to fall in between which category?
85 to 90.
85 to
85 to 90.
85 to 90. But what should be the answer?
90.
How can it be 90? See, 87.5 and above it should be then 90. Correct? So it is 87.
Okay.
Right. So this is what people we have to get the answer. Now see the beauty. We don't need to go for the separate formula for this. Same M round only. Taking the number, comma, multiple. I told you the difference between the lower unit and upper unit is the 5 units. And control enter. See the beauty with instant effect. We got it. Similarly, multiple of 5, multiple of 10, anything you need to round up, you can always round up your data by using a simple M round formula. You don't need to go for a separate formula to do this job. So I believe everybody is clear what we have done so far, right? So now we'll go for our next logic to check over here. There is a prices column you can see where we have got our data is of mixed type. Like we have got positive, we have got negative as well. So like this whole column is filled up with some data. Now looking at the same data in this structure, my boss is not quite happy. And he is asking me, Prabhas, do me a favor, just get the positive data alone in the next column. So data which is positive in nature, that alone I need to extract it in the next column. Well, so how to do that? So first of all, when I ask you, okay, look at the data and tell me which is positive, which is negative. How do you classify? How do you come to a conclusion? We just check wherever the data is there within parentheses or the brackets, or if it starts with a hyphen or dash symbol, this is negative. If none of these options are there, or none of these characters are available, that data is positive. This is the simple way to take a call, correct? As a layman, if I think about, I can take a call like this by looking at the data. Do you agree? Now, if I ask you, do a logical check and decide whether the data is positive or negative. What we do, we just check each and every cell value. How we check? Is this cell value greater than 0? If yes, positive. If no, negative. This is how a simply logical check and we decide. But we have to do with each and every cell that one, right? The same thing when you do the job in Excel, Excel will be taking the help of a if formula. So logical check purpose, logical formula. Now what it demands me? Logical test. So logical test purpose, we need to depend upon a cell which contains the value. Now what kind of check we need to do? Is it greater than 0? This becomes my logical test. Now, while you are doing the test may be a success or maybe a failure. So if it is a success, that is value if true, then what does it mean? This value is more than 0. Now it is positive. So in the next column where I'm typing the formula, which value should appear? The value which I'm checking. Simple. Comma. Now what it needs? Value if false. As I told you, if the test goes failure, then what does it mean? If it is not greater than 0, definitely it is less than 0. So it becomes negative. And we don't want that negative value to be there in the next column. So what should be the treatment? Treatment should be either 0, hyphen, nil, or not available, not applicable. Anything you want to populate, you must write within 2 double quotation marks. But here, since we are working with template, we want to retain the cell as blank. And to retain the blank cell, 2 immediate double quotation marks. Here people commits a mistake. They always define 2 double quotation marks and they define a space in between that. And that is really annoying because space, though it is not visible, but it is counted as a character and it will be giving an impact to the rest of our formula related to this cell. So you have to be very specific. If you want to retain the cell as blank, finish it off with 2 double quotation marks in the formula. Now bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell, but it needs to be applied for the rest of the cells. As we know, what is the shortcut? Control, enter, and we got our data ready. So this is how people, whenever there's a need, you can go for a simple logical formula for Excel and get our result. So kindly check it out. Is it working? Any doubt, any queries?
So,
Yep.
if formula is used only for conditions.
Yeah, logical. When there is a logical things to be checked, you have to use the if formulas. All right. So now the question is, are you happy with the solution? Just I would like to take your opinion being a user. Because see, my job is just to go for a postman job. Whatever Microsoft has designed, I am just transferring that knowledge to you. But being a user, I would like to take your feedback. Are you happy with the solution? Of course, yes. When we are getting a solution, we are happy. Correct? So here, one thing I'll tell you people, always don't be content with the solution. Think about it. Whether the solution is having any kind of drawback in the sense, maybe it will be taking much time to execute, or is it going to occupy more space? So now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, how will I know that? Because nowhere in the formula instructions it is mentioned it will be taking a lot of space, or it will be easy to access, or it will not take much time to execute. Nowhere such kind of advantages or disadvantages of the formulas are written anywhere. So that comes out of your practice and experience. So for the time being, to answer this question precisely, I never recommend this kind of formulas. This is what our experts they suggest us. But why I don't recommend this is the basic reason. Remember one thing, in any Excel file, the more the if formulas, file size will be more. Yes. So if formula should not be your first choice. If at all any other solution is not there, then you go for the worst case if formulas, because it occupies a lot of space and making the file size heavy, and the processing time, it takes a lot. So it slows down your entire process, and your speed will be also degraded because of that. Now, if this is the case, then how to make my formula precise? Just watch for 1 minute on my screen. There is an alternative column I have created. You can notice. I'll go for that. Equal to. There is a formula in our Excel we know. Max, very basic formula, and whose basic job is to find out the maximum value in a range. All right. What it demands me. Number one, I will take prices column, comma. What's the next one? Number two. So here we need to discuss something. Just see. The moment we have discussed logically whether the value is positive or negative, which value we have compared with? We have compared with 0, right? So taking the base as 0, anything beyond 0 or up, positive, below 0, negative. That is what we discussed, a simple call. Same thing we are going to do now. We are going to check max value between these two values. So what we are doing logically, we are just defining a action to execute by Excel between the value and 0, which is more, that alone you return. So we are not discussing anything below 0 cases at all over here. Just become very specific. Formula is ready only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Control Enter. Now see the beauty. When you present your data to the audience, or if you keep yourself in the audience shoes, which option you will prefer to see the most? Option 1 or option 2? Undoubtedly option 2. So this is how people, you have to always be alert and awake while designing the formula, and wherever it is possible, try to keep your formula length minimum so that you will not be struggling in the later state. So try this. Any doubt, any queries, do let me know, or any questions running in your mind, feel free to ask.
Why it's shown as dash when you mentioned comma 0?
Mhm.
So the negative one could also come at 0 in this instead of this dash.
No. See, this is a formula driven output. We are not defining. If the logic is not satisfying, do you define anything for the logic is not satisfied anything? We are not defining. That is the system driven results. So if it
Oh,
is between not these two values, if it is beyond these two or less than 0, that's why it is automatically applying that. This is what the our user or control panel settings hyphen we are not defining. This is
okay.
system driven data. So here if you want hyphen or dash, then you have to define that. We have defined as blank, so within that two double quotation marks we should write this kind of hyphen. So automatically this will be applying with this kind of hyphen. So there is a difference here. We have to define it precisely, but here it is system generated. Hope it is clear.
Can you explain this formula? There was a language issue.
Sure. See, our job is to make our formula precise. Since this is going to occupy more space, what we need to do, we'll go for a simple max formula. It asks me number one. So number one, I'll take this, comma. Number two. So number two, I'm going to just check simply logically. When I go for manually checking the data, whether it is positive or negative, which value we have compared with, we have always compared with zero, because zero is the base. Anything above zero, positive, anything below zero, negative. We know that. So that's why we are going to put it across over here, number two as zero. So we are giving a simple instructions to Excel that between the data and zero, which is more, that alone you return. So if at all, if anything below zero cases are there, we are not going to consider that itself in the formula. So this is precisely given, and the moment I hit Control Enter, it is ready for rest of cases.
Okay. That means the number two value is considered as a base value.
No, 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 no. Number two is not considering as a base. That is the lower in it. See, when you go for comparison between two value, one is your upper unit, one is your lower unit. I don't know which is upper, which is lower. That system will give me, the formula will give me the result depending upon the cell value. So when I go for E32, this is the value 103.2. So between 103.2 and 0, which is more, that is going to return me. And in the next case, when I go for this, between this value and 0, which is more, of course, 0 is more. 99.2, when it is negative, 0 is more only. But 0, it is not going to define. 0, it is returning because it's a formula driven result or system driven result. So instead of 0, it is defining hyphen.
Okay.
Right, right. Now we'll go to our next question. Calculate the date of expiry of AMC agreements. It's a very beautiful example. Please stay focused. Somewhere or the other, in any department, wherever you are working with, we have to deal with such kind of things. So let me take you through, put it straight. Suppose 11 December 2019, I have furnished one contract for HP printer of 16 months. Okay, so printer is HP, duration 16 months, and date of AMC execution is 11 December 2019. So what would be the date of expiry of that contract so that I can take a due call whether to renew the contract or stop the service? If the asset is sold, there's no point of having AMC for that again. So whatever it is, I want to take a call upon that. Okay. So ideally just check the first case and tell me what would be the date of expiry. Anybody? Just manually check and tell
10th
me.
April 2021.
Okay.
10th April 2021.
10th April 2021. Fine. So Narendra is saying 11th March 2021. Okay. Shruti, what's your opinion? Tanuj, what's yours? No problem, though it is wrong. What you believe, you can express.
So to get the expiry date, we will add 16 months with this 2019, the month mentioned, and 12
Okay.
months with the second one.
Okay, so I'll go for, as you said, this date plus 16 multiplied by 30. Am I right?
Yes.
So I'm getting this 4th April 2021. So 3 answers. Now which is correct?
So every month is not of 30 days, so that can be an issue.
Okay, then in your opinion, what's your answer then? So here, let's go and check it out. Okay. One thing for sure, people always remember, when there is a date related calculations to be done, you have to be pinpoint accurate. You cannot take a logic of like, okay, plus or minus 1 day approximate, it can be. No, that cannot be accepted. You have to be accurate. And for a particular case to find out the answer, we took this much of time. Think about it. When you open the file, there are 10,000 cases like this because you are the sole caretaker of the entire AMC of your organization. Now imagine how much time it will be taking to find out the answer for this. So to make our job easy, I will tell you a very simple way. There is a ready-made formula in our Excel naming called E-date. E stands for electronic. What it demands me, start date, we do have, comma, months, we do have. Bracket close, formula is ready. But problem is formula is giving the answer in a different format. What is the format? Technically, if you look at what kind of format you believe it is. Yes, people. Tanu is saying numeric, Narendra is saying number. Okay. This is what the trouble, people. We need to recognize our data properly. This is not number format. This is your general format. I will tell you. So one certain things we need to make it clear. See, when you have the data, okay, what do you call this? This is called our general format of our data. Same data, I'm going to take it. Now this is becomes number format. See the difference. Same data, I'm going to take it. Now this is becoming time format. Same data, I'm going to take it, but now this becomes your date format. Okay. Same data, I'm going to put it across. This is called currency format. Okay. Again, I'm going to present the same data. This is called your percentage format. So these are the various formats we do have of our data. Okay. Hope that is clear. Data type and format. This is very, very essential. You should learn your data. You should read your data by data type. Now, coming back to our answer, what is this? Now, if you try to correlate, what is that? Is it general? Do you agree? And to prove that it's a general format, I will show you something. So whenever you want to recognize your cell format, in the home tab, you have a ready-made option. It shows what is the format you have. So you see, in our case, it is showing general. Okay. So now we got the answer, but technically general format is not going to help me. We want the answer in date format, right? So what we do, we go for right click, format cells, date, and we take a long time. So don't do that. So today we are going to stop doing all these things, whatever the practice we have developed. So what we need to do is any point of time to convert any format to date format, Control Shift 3. I repeat, Control Shift 3 is going to help us in converting any format to date format. And see the beauty, we got it. So this is what basically, people, our EDATE formula over here, how it works. We have got a basic understanding. And the formula based answer, whatever we have received, what happens? It is not operating. Okay. Right. And we also understood that there is a keyboard shortcut, Control Shift and this hash key over here to convert to date format. So I'll go for this and this. So even though you have got 10,000 cases, you don't need to be worried about, and this is going to help you a lot. Whenever you have got contracts, claims, agreements, bank guarantee related some documents, or you are maintaining the workbook or investment related some documents you are maintaining, everywhere you can make use of this, and you can always bring the accuracy at your workplace. So any doubt, any queries, feel free to ask.
Many times the date format is also having different kind of formats, like only month is coming or coming in a DDMMYY or a different form. So for that, any shortkeys are there?
Yeah, I will tell you precisely, taking to a real-time situation, which will be easy to connect with. Basically, in our routine activities, you may come across this kind of problem. I'll show you a real-time data. This is what the problem. When you download, something is there over here. What is the format? dd-mmm-yy. This is one. The other one, m/dd/yyyy. This is the format. Can you see?
Right.
So unless and until I bring it to a uniformity, I cannot present these records. And this is also creating a lot of confusion and always have a fear. Am I right? Whatever the formula I'm applying, whether it is going to give me the correct result or not. This is what also a fear in our mind. Unless and until we take some random data and check it, we cannot confirm we are in the right track. So this is the reason why what we need to do, people, you need to first select the data, going to data menu, text to column, we have a very beautiful option for data cleansing. So when I go for text to column, you can notice it takes me to this kind of dialog box where no need to do any changes, directly go for next. And again, I'll go for next. In the third tab, can you see it is showing general by default? So I'll convert to date because I'm working with date. If it is showing DMY, I need to change it to MDY. If it were showing MDY, I should have done the changes to DMY. Depends. So since it was showing DMY, I change it to MDY. And now, the moment I click finish, just see the beauty. Everything has come into a uniform format. So this is what the beauty. Whenever you have got date format of different pattern, you can always bring a uniformity by using text to column.
So what is my basic understanding is DMY is date month year, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then you convert that to MDY, that
Yeah.
is month date year.
Yes, I either I need to one of them need to bring the uniformity. Either I bring everything to MDY format or everything I should bring it to DMY format. Because
But
it's yeah.
visually it is showing me in a DMY form.
Yeah, usually it is DMY only. Here also you
So
can see.
any format you can select, but it is showing the same DMY.
Right, it will be. See, though it is MDY or
this one.
yeah, though it is MDY or DMY, at the end of the value remains the same, right? So if I go for
Right.
today's data, this is my today's date. So if I go for this DMY, or if I go for 09 over here, 17 or 2022, it remains the same. The value remains the same. Only thing is, format is changing. The window dressing of the data is changing. So here I go for equal to this plus 2. And here also I go for equal to this plus 2. This is going to come. But I have typed it manually. But yes, if I go for over here, suppose I take an example. If I go for September, right? 17 to 2 over here. September. So it is taking September 17, 2022. Now when I go on type, so this is not responding since I'm typing it manually. But I'm telling just for a logical understanding. Though you go for DDMM or MMDD, the value will remain the same. It's not a problem. Now here, if I go and type it over here, this formula, whatever equal to this data, this is in date format. So 3, I'm getting 4 over here, 1 plus 3. And here also I'm go for typing it. It will automatically bring the value for answer for me. So everywhere it is applying 3 numbers over here, here also 3. Yes, Shruti, you want me to repeat that?
Yeah, and I also have one question. Suppose I'm maintaining a data which has got date of birth of several people, and my team of 5 people, हर किसी ने अलग अलग way में लिखा है. किसी ने date, month, year, किसी ने पहले month, फिर date, फिर year. So is there a way I could make it all into a certain way? That every column should be like DD, MM, YY only?
Right. See, that is what, again, what I suggest is if you have that kind of people have done the manual data entry, then the risk is very high. So blindly do not go for changing the date pattern. First, you go and create a new column. Suppose this is my data. Just create a identical column for that. Okay, as it is. Suppose I take an example over here. I had the data. Okay, I'll just delete all these things. I'll make it undo. Yeah, right. So this is the data I have. I have copied and I have pasted in the next column. Okay. Now do the R&D over here, because you never know what kind of format it is, a SAP driven data, or if it is in date format, or if it is in text format, we never know. So this is the reason why first create a identical copy, then go for immediately. I told you control over here, control shift and 3. When I go for control shift and 3, what happens? Is it having any changes? No. Then you have to bring the uniformity, going to data, going to text to column, next, next. Here, by default, it shows general. You should go for changing to date format. And when you go for date, it is trying to make it as DMY. So if you're happy everything to be DMY, you can make it. Or if you want to make it to MDY, for entire format to MDY, I will go for MDY. This is the only change you can do. So blindly you can take it. If it is saying DMY, go for MDY. If it is showing MDY, change it to DMY, anything. Now the moment I click finish, it will be clear over here. So though it is of DD MMYY or MMDDYY, now everything comes into DD MMYY format without changing the values. Now, if it is working for 5 to 10 cases, then you are pretty sure, no problem. It is working fine. But what if the person has done deliberately some changes? Suppose here I'm typing, suppose my system data is of DDMMYY. One case I typed, what is that? Like 17 over here, then hyphen 09 over here, 2022. Now over here, suppose I go for 01, 01 over here 2022. Take an example. So my intention was here to always follow DDMM format, but here I have applied MMDD format. There is no control because deliberately that person is typing the data in a wrong format. So what we can do to prevent these errors to happen, always ask people just to fill the numbers. Like if it is of today's date, 17 September 2022, like 17 September 2022. So they should write 17 September 2022. Just tell them to fill this. Then automatically what is happening tomorrow when you go for it, you can extract your data and put it in proper date format. Now, if I go and take a look, if I go and drag it over here, it is not showing the value because the formula bar date separator, how it is supposed to be, either DD hyphen MM hyphen YY or MM slash DD slash YY. So here to make it clean, again, we have a beautiful option. We can simply go for home tab, data menu, going to text to column, and next, I'll go for date over here, DMY. If I go and click finish, immediately it will be just converted to a proper date format. Though they have typed only the numbers, but we have converted it. So this is one method. You can ask them always to fill the numbers only. Else, ask them to fill the text format. Like here, you can start filling like 17 September 2022. So commit of mistake chances are very less in this format. So this is how we can always suggest to our people what to be typed. So automatically things will be more clear. You don't need to go for repetition of same thing to be checked again and again. You can control from the data entry point of view. All right.
Can we restrict that user to, put some kind of, like in a date format, only he can put a date format only.
See, I would
Because,
suggest, yeah, I understand
yeah,
that.
this,
What I suggest is when you know, see, basically our books and accounts we maintain for 1 year, correct? We are following financial year 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023. Then books and accounts will be closed. So whatever the entries is going to happen within that period only. Do you agree with me?
right, right.
Right. So when you create a template, you decide your content. Okay, these are the fields, Pravas, you need to fill. And this is what the date column. So date column itself, rest of the headers you will be defining, no doubt. So date column, you put it predefined and send it across. Like I will be starting with 1st April 2022. Suppose I did it. Okay. Now I want 31st March 2023 is the last row items in this. The best option I can select. I don't need to drag. I don't need to keep on dragging like this. This will take my whole day. Don't do that. I'll tell you the best technique. Going to home, over here in the fill, there is an option called series. And when I go for series, it will be demanding me. Step value is already defined. Stop value, what is that? Same format like 31st hyphen 03 hyphen 2023. I define where you want your numbers, not in rows, I want in columns. So I'll go for columns. And the moment you go for this, immediately, can you see from starting from 1st April till 31st March 2023, this is populating. So in that person, you no need to touch this column. You only start filling the data from this column onwards. Your job is become very simple. And if you want to make it readable, simple, Control Shift and 3. As I told you, the entire data is in readable format. See, in any industry, some discipline needs to be maintained. Excel works only with the data type. So it is up to you. You either hire a trained person or you train your people. Choice is yours.
Yeah, because this is a live means case study, right? When we ask our employees to put their date of birth,
Right,
then we got different, formats,
right,
and mostly they are incorrect.
right.
So dealing with that data is very difficult.
See, that
That's
is
why I'm
what I'm
asking
telling.
this
In
kind.
those cases, what we do as a organization's point of view, if you talk about, we create the ready-made forms. So people, they no
Okay.
need to fill the date. They have to select from a calendar. Like a ready-made calendar will be coming up and they have to select from that calendar. Or a ready-made drop-down will be
Exactly.
there. They have to select from the drop-down. Like say, take an example over here. I will go for a drop-down. So in this, over here, I'll go for data. I'll go for data validation. And here I'll create a list. And I'll go for this kind of source. And source is, I will select something like this and I'll click OK. Now this data will be creating a drop down for me. So people have the choice, only they have to select from the drop down. So it is from month wise, year wise, or any other calendars that also can be designed. So for that, we have to go for a form control. There is a separate subject called form control. From this developer tab, we can choose the form controls, the calendar, checkbox, or the buttons, or the slider bar, anything you can define like this.
Because this is, for financial calendar, it is okay. We can do this list.
Mhm.
But for the date of birth, we need to create a calendar, right? So
Yes,
that people can
yes,
select and
yes, we
want
need to
that.
create. That is what we call form control. I gave you the name. So most of the time when you are seeking your data like a feedback form or form control, or you are taking the user's advice or opinion call or voting options, anything, that all are coming up in the forms. So some people use it now, since MS 365 is their Office 365, people use MS Forms. If it is not available, people use Google Forms. There are two options.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you, in upcoming these periods, can you teach this also, how to create calendar and all that?
That will take time, but it will not be the part of our scope of the subject. But yes, if you are interested, I can help you out. You have to log in the meeting
Yes.
room at 1:45 in the next session,
Okay.
say tomorrow. So that 15
Great.
minutes I'll be utilizing how to create such kind of calendar. If you're interested, please drop me a
Sure.
message in the group itself so that I'll be also ready within that timeline. Okay.
So tomorrow I will join
Yeah.
1:45.
Yes, you just confirm me. If you are joining, you will be
Yeah.
just letting
Sure.
me know so
Sure.
that I'll also log into the meeting room in the same time.
Sure. No.
Right.
And shall I ask you one more
Yeah,
question, which is
please.
not related to
No,
this?
no problem.
So while you are teaching us the formulas, right?
Yeah.
So whenever we start any formula like equal to VLOOKUP or anything like on screen it is showing equal to EDATE, all that formulas what it means arrays, or for example K, what is a K value.
Mm-hmm.
So in our day-to-day life, how we can adopt these formulas, and how we can learn these formulas, so that there are so many formulas which are relevant to our daily routine life. There are so many formulas which are not related to our daily work life.
Right.
So in that,
Absolutely.
how can you guide how to
See,
read a formula and how to adopt that?
right. So first of all, one thing is called awareness. First, you need to have the awareness of the platform, then about the application of that particular knowledge, what you have gained from the awareness. So these are the two things, two concepts. So here, people, what they do, they get the awareness, but they don't practice. That's what I told in the beginning. Practice is very, very essential. So I am giving you the live case studies. These are the formulas in this place, you can use it. So those things you have to practice. And apart from that, if you want to explore something new, what are the formulas we have in Excel? There are two ways. You can simply go for F1. You can name any formula. Suppose say you have come across a new formula or somebody is using say some product. You can simply type Excel in the help command, what is some product function. So when you go for some product function, it will be giving you a ready-made help command. Some product function, you can click, it will be showing you the live examples. What is some product? Item is there, size is there, and how many stores. So if you want to create something like this, how to create it. So this is how you can ask Excel to help you. This is one way. Else, I gave you the site names in the beginning, if you remember. So those sites will be containing all this information, including all the formulas, functions, nested functions. So whenever you want, you can go and explore there also. Because if you look into the formula perspective, there are 582 formulas are there in Excel, which is the combination of financial, trigonometrical, text, logical, all this or engineering functions, everything put together. I'm talking about. But we are not going to use all these things in our routine activities because
Absolutely.
Excel is not confined to a particular domain. Like Excel is not confined to finance or accounts. Excel is not confined to stores. Anybody in the world, any department vertical they are working with, they can use it. So that's why it has been equipped enough with all this information. But as I committed, as I told, I mean already that in these 16 hours, most of our formulas will be covered, like what we need it in our daily basis. So don't worry about it. Right. Now, coming to this, our e-date, we got our date of expiry properly, clearly, no doubt about it. Even though I have got 10,000 entries, I got my answer. But that alone is not enough, people. Why? What is the other things? What is the other risk factor? I'll tell you. Stay focused, please. 11th April 2021. Though I got my answer, but is it going to fall in a weekday or weekend? That also I need to find it out. So basically, there is one more requirement for us is we need to find out the day from a date. Because if at all my 11th April 2021 is falling in a weekend, then it's very problematic for me. I cannot ask my vendor to come in the weekend, neither I do visit office in the weekend, right? But being a user, it's my responsibility. Timely renewal of my contracts is very, very essential. So this is the place where people, we need to have one more column naming called day. And to extract a day from a date, we should use a formula naming called text. Very helpful. So text formula, what it does, it is going to just see the data, find, comma, then format text. As I told you, what is the two formats we follow across the globe? DDMMYY or MMDDYY. D stands for day, M stands for month, Y stands for year. This is already predefined by Microsoft Excel. Only thing is we need to follow the instructions. So what we need the day. So I'll go and define D 4 times. I'll go and define D 4 times, that too within two double quotation marks. Why? What is the significance of typing D 4 times? To get the complete string of the day, like Sunday, Sunday. If I go for 3Ds, what is going to happen? Only first three characters, SUNMON, like that. Is it case sensitive? No. Excel formulas are not case sensitive. Why we need to put the double quotation marks? Because this is what our text we are defining. And this is the instruction predefined by Microsoft Excel. Formula is ready only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Control Enter. See the beauty. With immediate effect, we found our result. So this is how people, any point of time to extract a day from a date, you can always use text formula. Very helpful. Just give it a try and check it's working.
Pravas,
Yeah.
whenever we will write any text inside the formula, we will always use the double quotation marks.
See, it depends upon the formula, what formula you are using. But yes, if you want to define your own text, most of the time you have to go for within two double inverted quotes only, though it is a space or any other characters also.
Okay, and this 4 times D, I will write that like it will show the entire name.
Yes,
Sunday.
yes. Now, if I go for 3Ds, it will be giving me sun, SUN. Can you see that? If I go for 2Ds, it will be giving the date in terms of number. So since we need the complete day, we go for DD 4 times.
Okay.
Right. Similarly, you can find out the month and year also. Let's do a practice. Month and year as well. So month, we can go for similarly same text formula. Going for date of expiry within two double inverted quotes, we can go for M 4 times. So for a year, what we can do? Any idea?
Four times why?
Yeah, that's a good one, but don't go for that because text formula will be very lengthy. So it's not necessary we should go for text formula all the time. So to find out our year from a date, we have a ready-made year formula, very precise, just see, and we can take a date. Simple. So as I told you, always try to keep your formula length minimum. So this is how your formula would be pretty helpful also. Because when you download the data from SAP or ERP system, most of the cases you will be finding only a column will be date, like date of joining, purchase order date, work order date, execution date, received date, sanctions date, like that. So sometimes when you are working with multiple year data, sorry.
ষোলো মাস পরে এটা এক্সপায়ার, ঠিক আছে? তাহলে সেই এক্সপায়ারি ডেটটা কবে, এটা বের হবে। সেই এক্সপায়ারি ডেটের ডেটটা যেটা এটা কোন মাসে এক্সপায়ার করছে সব বার করে আমি জানতামই না দুটো ল্যাপটপ অন্য যখন কোনো ল্যাপটপ এ তো মানে ইকুয়াল টুই পড়ে।
All right. So over here, now we are clear with our things, whatever we have discussed, people, correct? And this is how our business maths case studies, whatever the story, we are clear with that. So any doubt, any queries with regard to any formula, you can ask me, no problem. So save all your workbooks. With this, we'll go for a short break of 10 minutes. So in my system, it is 4:20, again 4:30, that is 4:30, we are going to catch up. So 10 minutes time, have a brisk and come back soon. Please ensure you are here by 4:30. We'll discuss the rest. Yeah.
Are you going to give these all formulas, A1 formulas to us? So
Yes,
or,
you will be getting,
are they?
yeah, you will be
Yeah.
getting as it is the soft copy of all these case studies or modules along with the session recordings also. Maximum by 9 p.m. tonight, it will be reaching to your respective emails, and I'll be also dropping a copy in the WhatsApp group. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Welcome. So I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box? Why for yes? All right, so we had discussed about our business math sheets, people over here. Now we are going to discuss the next sheet, naming called data presentation. So here, why we need to discuss about data presentation, let me first give you the importance of that. In today's world, people, nowadays, mere presenting the data in numbers is not alone enough. People are expecting a lot, that your data should be informative, your data should speak a better story to the audience, your data should be having some infographic presentations. So all these things are needed nowadays. So that is going to make your work different. So the first thing is, over here, we are going to discuss how to make our data informative. Now take an example. Suppose say, my boss asked me a question, Prabhas, get me the entire revenue data. So what I did, month-wise, customer-wise, or product-wise, whatever the Excel sheets I had prepared, everything I have consolidated, and this is the final summary I made it. Fine. Now, this data is ready for dispatch, whatever he was expecting, but that is what anybody can do. So my question is over here now, What else we can do in this data so that we can make it more informative, more presentable, or that will be called as a value additions to the work. Or when I go and present it to the audience, they will be also quite happy and they will be giving a compliment to my work. So think about it and let me know how to make this data more informative. What can be done? Whatever it comes to your mind, no problem. Here we can discuss.
We can show month-wise contribution of revenue.
So you mean to
Yes,
say
so
that
for
revenue
example,
data, we can have one more column to present it in terms of percentage.
percentage, right?
Okay, very good. That can be accepted. It can be taken. Yes. Anything else?
Then we can segregate this into Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4.
That is,
Quarter one, quarter two, quarter
yeah,
three.
that is just a mere bucketing of data. I don't see that kind of
Yeah.
value addition. It's just mere a bucketing of data.
But that can give you percentage.
Coloring format that the highest number should be green, then after that kind of thing.
Yeah, the maximum value we can identify separately in terms of green, and the lowest value or the least one or the minimum value we can highlight in separate color. That can be done. Yes, that's a value addition. Yes.
Revenue can be in a fresh format.
It is already there in USD. You want to define still the dollar symbol? That's fine. No problem. We can do that. So when the column is already defined USD, it is a simple message. These are in dollars. Yes. Anything else? Shruti, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
Actually, nothing is coming to my mind what needs to be
Okay.
added.
No problem. I was just checking whether you have come back or not.
One more thing we can do that in a pie chart so that we can easily segregate that this month is contributing the most and this month is contributing the least.
Right. So basically, in one line, this entire data can be presented in a graphical format. It can be either pie, line, bar, column, anything, whichever you like the most, you can do it. Yes, that can be considered. Yes. Anything else? All right. So thank you for participating in the discussion. All these things are needed. Whatever we discussed, it's a collective effort, so it's a team effort, I can say, but all this information is needed. But technically, are we presenting the same? That is what the first question. No. Though we are aware of all these things, but we never present all this information when we are presenting the same to the next level. Unless and until it is demanded from the other side in a bold letter in the email format or a instruction or a demand, we never go and prepare like this. So my question is, why it is like this? Though we know, see, did I say anything? Everything you have only told. So you are completely aware of that. These are the things needed. But still, we don't present giving a add-on to the data like this. Why? What could be the reason? If you are giving well and good, I'm not denying that. But if most of the case in generic statement, if I pass yes, 90% people, they do not present this data in this fashion.
Because they don't know how to do it in an easier way, or they don't know shortcut of doing it.
Okay, I agree with you since you are also not coming. I mean, you told clearly. I appreciate your honest answer.
And one more thing is that they never ask us to do that.
So that is what I'm telling. That is what I'm telling. Unless and until it is demanded, we never go and present our data in that pattern. But what is the reason behind it?
Yes.
It's a two reasons, simple two reasons. I'll tell you, you will also not disagree with that. One thing is we believe in the corporate world while we are working with, the more the information I give, the more the trouble I will invite, the more the questions I will invite. That's why people stop themselves. This is the biggest mistake. Don't confine your limit. When you know this kind of information will be an add-on to the data, you never know that information alone is going to make your presentation different from others. So if you want to stand out of the crowd, if you want to make a difference at your workplace, you have to leave your comfort zone, you have to think out of box, and you have to give some more with your data. That is necessary. Okay, so let's see now how to make some improvements in our presentation. Whatever we know, how to implement it in a proper right methods or fashion, we are going to discuss one by one. So first thing first, this is the data I am presenting. Maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same, but the minimum requirement is yet to be fulfilled. What is that? The data doesn't have the total. In any data, this is very much needed. So keep your cursor in the bottom and put a total. Alt equal to the quick keyboard shortcut, Alt equal to, when you press together, this gives you an immediate sum formula. The moment you hit enter, are you getting the same? Please confirm everyone. 33,715. Did you get the total? Now, once you have this, maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same, what I am preparing, what I am presenting. But when he is going to present the same to the management, management is not worried about seeing the numbers in billions, millions, lakhs, and crores. They want to see the revenue data, but revenue should be in terms of percentage. So our next requirement, we should create one more column to state our revenue data in terms of percentage. So let's go and create. Then what should be the formula for this? Just 1 minute, watch my screen. Equal to Jan month revenue should be divided by the total revenue. Do you agree with the formula? So each and every month data we need to divide with the total revenue. So when I copy this formula towards down, only my B column, B5 to B6, it should move, but B710 should remain constant. So for that, I need to go for F4, right? But here, when I go for it, I will get my answer in terms of decimals. So we have a practice. Again, we go and define with multiplying by 100. That is unwanted. Don't define your data by multiplying 100 and getting the percentage value. See, any point of time to convert any format to percentage format, Control, Shift, and 5. So Control, Shift, and 5, the keyboard combination will be helping you to convert any format to percentage format. Okay. So here, the moment I go for this data, Control, Shift, and 5, did I get to this percentage format? Yes. Now the same I need to apply for rest. Double click on the fill handle, the button which you drag, double click. And the moment you go for total, is it giving you 100%? Yes. So we are in the right track now. The entire data is in 100%. So please give it a try and confirm you are getting the answer. Now, what else we can do over here? Just have a look at my screen for a minute, please. See, one thing we can present is we can compare our data from Jan to Feb, Feb to March, March to April. So we call it as growth. So let us go and create a new column naming called growth to showcase month and month comparison. Some people name it as MOM comparison, MOM variance, MOM difference, but technically you should name it as growth. Now, coming to the growth column, what should be the formula? So please watch for 1 minute. Growth. The moment we started our business is the month of January. Do you have anything before January to compare with? No. So since there is no previous month data over here, we should give the growth as nil, zero. Logically, it's zero. Now come to Feb. We have got something to compare with. So what should be the formula? Equal to Feb month, whatever the revenue minus Jan month revenue to compare with. Do you agree with the formula? Yes or no? To calculate our growth column, can we define our formula like this? Now the formula is ready. It is showing the result. Jan to Feb, my revenue is in decreasing trend. Okay. Now the same I can apply for rest of months. So I can go for double click on the fill handle and I got my growth column ready.
Right. I just want to say one thing.
Mhm.
If I want this growth in percentage,
Yeah, we are going to discuss that. This is done. This is what I'm waiting for
and
confirmation. I'm waiting for the confirmation. We'll go for that. Don't worry. So growth in terms of value, maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same. But when he is going to present the same to the management, management is not worried about our differences or variance or over here the growth in terms of billions, millions, lakhs, and crores. They want to see the growth, but in terms of percentage. So let us go and get our answer for growth percentage calculation. So once your column is ready, please watch my screen 1 minute. Logically, when your growth is nil, growth percentage also will be nil. We know that. But when you go to Feb, we have got something. So what should be the growth percentage calculation over here? We can go for over here, whatever the growth we have identified in the month of Feb, that should be divided by the base month. So base month for Feb, what is that? Is the Jan. So do you agree with the formula? Basic mathematics, nothing much we are doing. This is called our statistical calculations also sometimes. And the moment I hit enter, I get my result. As I told you, it is turning up in decimals. And I told you how to convert any format to percentage format. Control Shift and 5. Now the same I can apply for rest. And immediately I got my growth percentage column ready. Now, once we have done with this, what else we can present it in this data to make it more informative? Let's have a discussion. See, the moment we have started our business in the month of Jan, if suppose somebody is asking me, Prabhas, how much revenue you have made, I will say 3963. Now, when I complete my business for the month of Feb, if I need to answer the same question, how much revenue we have made, what I'll say, I will not say the Feb month revenue alone, I will say Jan plus Feb. Similarly, when I complete March, Jan plus Feb plus March. What do you call this? We call it as cumulative. Cumulative. Yes. Or we call it as accumulation of the data. But when you are using the same in the corporate reports, you should use the proper corporate jargons, and that is YTD, year to till date. So you should use the proper corporate jargons. Okay. YTD, create a new column naming YTD. Shruti, able to follow?
The growth percentage I couldn't follow. Till growth I followed. So I was trying to understand this growth percentage one.
See, growth, how did you find out? You have compared with your base data that is called previous month. So similarly, whatever the growth percentage is nothing but the growth you have identified that should be divided by the base month. So for Feb, the base is Jan. Similarly, when you go to March, the base will be Feb. When you go to April, the base will be March. Like that, the previous month is the nothing but the base.
I got it now.
Right. Now, once we have done with this over here, YTD, how to make it? Please 1 minute, watch my screen. See, the moment whatever we made in the month of Jan, the same thing is going to be the value of YTD for the month of Jan. Do you agree? Whatever my Jan month revenue, that is going to be the YTD for the month of Jan. Do you agree? Yes. So equal to Jan month revenue I have taken. Just 1 minute, watch my screen, understand the concept. But when I go to Feb, what should my formula? For Feb formula, it should be equal to Jan month YTD plus Feb month revenue, current revenue. Do you agree? Now, when I go and hit enter, is it giving the cumulative figures of this Jan and Feb? So Jan and Feb, whatever we have, is it 7748? Yes, it's 7748. We got it. Now the same formula we need to apply for rest. Double click on the fill handle. Now, how will I know that I'm in the right path or I'm in the right track? See the beauty. When you look at the YTD column for the month of December, is it matching with my total revenue? Yes, so we are in the right track. So this is a self-immediate confirmation for us that we are not committing any kind of mistake. So please confirm you got your YTD column ready.
Prabhas, sorry to take you back. Just one thing, if you can please repeat this revenue percentage column, what formula did you put there?
Revenue percentage.
Yeah, revenue percentage, yeah.
This is revenue divided by total revenue, and total revenue cell is locked.
Oh.
And the same we have converted.
Reverse calculation also in that.
Which one?
So for Shruti better understanding, you can do 33715
Yes.
That will come January figure. So 3375 into 12%, you will get January 3963.
Okay.
You can do reverse calculation and do tally for that, like Prabhas said.
And to convert that into percentage, do I need to do something?
Of course.
Or
yes.
I can just select January divide by total, Feb divide by total.
No. This should go for Control Shift and 5. You should not multiply by 100. Unnecessarily formula length will be increasing. You can go for Control Shift and 5. Because numerical key 5, it is containing the percentage symbol. You can also check. Is it there? Right? Shruti, for you, I'm asking.
Yes.
Yes.
It's done.
Right.
I couldn't unmute and I was speaking.
No problem.
So yeah, I got
it happens in the meeting rooms. It happens. So this is how you can check one thing, and there are various ways to check. When you go for total of revenue percentage, is it showing 100%? Yes, then you are in the right track. Or the other way, if you can check, like our friend Narendra, he said that you can check this value multiply by 12%. It should be the value in terms of numbers. There are various ways to check it out. Okay. Now, YTD in terms of value, maybe my immediate boss would be happy watching the same. But when he's going to present the data in terms of percentage to the management, that is very much essential. So we should have one more data over here, YTD percentage. Okay. So how to make it simple? Like YTD is nothing but Jan month revenue. Similarly, YTD percentage is nothing but Jan month revenue percentage. Can we take that? Do you agree with the formula?
Yes.
So when I hit it, I got my 12%. So 3963, 12% YTD percentage is ready. Now watch 1 minute. Equal to Jan month YTD percentage plus Feb month revenue percentage is nothing but my Feb month YTD percentage. Do you agree with this formula? It's nothing but the same replica of YTD column. That was in numbers, this is in percentage. The moment you go for this 12 plus 11, is it 23%? Yes, we are in the right track. Now, the moment I go for double click on the fill handle, and I told you YTD, how to confirm. Similarly, YTD percentage, when you go to December month, is it matching with my total revenue percentage column? Yes. So we are in the right track again. So this is how people, just imagine, we had only two columns. We believe this is enough, but this much of exercise is there. So this is how nobody will demand all these things. This is by inherent in the nature, the data itself, to make it complete. This much of information is very, very essential. So please confirm you got these things. Any doubt, any queries, or any confusion, make it clear. Now, once our data is ready in this format, then little bit beautification is also required. It's not just like that as it is, I feel I can give it. See, what is the beautification? Like formatting, we talk about it. So what kind of formatting we use? Mostly the coloring of the data. So how you do the coloring? We go to home and we go for fill color or we go for font color. Right, people? This is what we do most of the time. And we believe this is what our world. Trust me, beyond this, we have got so much of things to explore. So select your month column as I selected. Then go to your home tab. There is an option called cell styles. Cell styles. So Microsoft has made a lot of improvements from 2007 version of Excel. And you can see there is a section called themed cell styles. The bottom line is called accent categories. So accent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all. You can take one accent out of this. Similarly, select your top row and there you define home tab, cell styles, and take one more color out of this. So looks good, elegant. And what's the beauty? In one accent itself, our font color and the fill color is combined together. So font color is always high contrast to the background. So I don't need to go and do a separate activity for font color over here. All right. Hope this is working, people. Home, cell styles, accent category. Now, once you have done with this, kindly select your data, keeping the cursor anywhere in the data set, select your data, make it Control A. And once your data is selected, the first thing is, whenever you have multiple columns of data, give a feel of a table. And how to give a feel of a table? By applying the borders. And how to apply the borders? Going for two ways. One, you can use your mouse going to home, borders, all borders with the help of mouse. Else, you can go for Alt, H for home, B for border, A for all border. So you can use the keyboard shortcuts also. So whichever it is comfortable for you, you can go for it. But if you ask me, I would recommend all the time go for keyboard shortcuts, because formatting is one option which will be using frequently in your routine activities. So it's better train yourself now to execute all these formatting activities through the keyboard shortcuts. Initially, little bit challenging, but trust me, within 1 week itself, you can see a lot of improvements. And when you go for Alt HBA, how it stands, H for home, B for border, A for all borders. You don't need to press all the four keys together, just one by one. First, select your data, press Alt, remove the finger, then H, remove the finger, then B, then A. Check, confirm, is it working? Yes, Shruti and Santhan? Okay. Now, what is the next thing we should do? Whenever you have multiple columns or tabular data, people, the latest style, it says that when you're presenting your data, the first column should be always aligned to the left, and rest of the columns should be always aligned to the center. And to make it a center, except the month column, rest of the columns, to make it a center, we can go to home and we have an option called central alignment from this. Okay. This is with the help of mouse, you can do it. Else, you can go for always a keyboard shortcut. Alt, H for home, A for alignment, C for center. Center alignment. Again, one by one key. You don't need to press together and struggle. And this is how we made a data bit more informative. And since you have done all these things in Excel, see the advantage, see the beauty. When you are asked to present the same in PowerPoint, you don't need to struggle, you don't need to spend time much. You can simply copy the data, going to PowerPoint, and over here, the moment I go to PowerPoint, I don't need to spend much time while operating with the same. I can simply right click and go for image, and this will be turned out to be a very good piece of information. And when I'm presenting it to the audience, it will be giving a neat and clean look, since we have done all these things in Excel. So don't be in the impressions that, okay, when there is a need PowerPoint presentation, then only I'll be looking for my presentation part. In Excel also, presentation plays a very big role. All right. So this is how people we have understood how to make our data informative. Any doubt, any queries, any questions?
Uh,
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing, that all plus H plus AM plus C is center. Okay. So if I want to do left alignment, then last comment should be L.
Yes, that is what C for center, L for left, R for right.
This is the logic.
Yeah, that is the logic you no need to remember. See, it is already predefined. I'll show you. The moment you go for the data, okay, I have selected. When I go for Alt, what happens? See my ribbon menu, see my interface. In this, whatever the menu structure is there, the primary menu, this home, insert, everything is activated with a predefined key. So this is what the key to navigate. I need to go to home. So I go for H. Now I have gone inside home tab. In home tab for center, I used AC, Alt H, AC for center, AR for right, AL for left. Okay. So this is what menu driven keyboard shortcut. All the time it is there. You can also explore whichever the options you are frequently using. Those options you can explore the keyboard shortcuts, make a list of that and keep practicing. So how to make our data informative? I believe it's clear. Shruti, any questions?
No, I've understood this.
Okay. Tanuj?
No problem.
Right. Fine. Now, let us go for next level, just below to that. Now we are going to look into how to make our data presentable. Earlier we have seen how to make it informative. Now we are going to see how to make our data presentable. That is also playing a role. Well, same data, entire 12 months revenue data we have over here. Okay. Now suppose say this is what our friend uh, Narendra has asked to Tanuj that Tanuj get me all this data. So now Tanuj has created, but how to make it better? He thought for a while. So what you can do, people, you can select your data by keeping the cursor anywhere in the data set, select your data, Control A, and go to your home tab. There is an option called Format as Table. After conditional formatting, you will be finding Format as Table. Able to see, everybody? It opens up with three broad categories: light, medium, and dark. Always go for light or medium. Do not go for the dark one, because the more the dark color, again, file size will be more. So we'll always use light or medium. So let's go for, suppose I would like to go for one medium category out of this. And when I choose one medium and click, it immediately takes me to a dialog box where I need to click OK. And once I click OK, immediately, can you see a beautiful transformation of your data? Like alternate rows are highlighted, headers are properly defined with some background fill of some colors, filter buttons are ready-made activated, top row and bottom row, our border also, thick borders also applied. Looks somewhere great compared to the previous version of your data. What say, Tanush? Looks good?
Yes.
Right. Now, this is what Tanuj has presented to our friend Narendra. Narendra is watching. He is giving a compliment to our Tanu's work and saying, Tanuj, today the data somewhat looks good. I'm happy the way you are presented, but I'm a bit curious to know how come overnight such differences? Till yesterday, there was no such kind of presentation, but all of a sudden today you have made it. So I'm a bit curious to know. So Tanuj, what you are going to reply if your boss something asks like this?
I will tell him that I have used the tables
Mm-hmm.
and made it presentable. The data I have made the data presentable by using the tables and rows and columns in a
Okay.
tabular form.
Okay. But why that was not happening till yesterday? All of a sudden today, how come the difference? This is what he's asking. No doubt you have used
So
Excel features.
that's because of lack of knowledge of that part.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm appreciating your honest answer. So in this case, what you will be telling, or if it is a corporate training, suppose you are now bearing from your own pocket, if it would have been arranged by your corporates or your L&D team, so you would be saying to your boss, definitely. So you have allowed me for the training program, and this is what I have learned, and I thought I should implement, and I have done that, and that is how it is making a difference. So what you have understood from the entire story, what you are learning, try to implement immediately. And trust me, you can see a lot of appreciations at your workplace. Anyway,
Exactly.
now, yeah, absolutely. So now our friend Narendra is quite happy having a teammate like Tanuj who is keen on learning the things, new things, and making the things better. And Tanuj, we know one thing: when boss is happy, what happens next?
When he appreciates, chances of appraisal becomes high.
Okay, fine then. So I will answer that question, not by myself. Our friend Narendra is going to answer that. Narendra, when boss is happy, what happens?
Boss is happy, then you will get some more work related to that,
Okay,
some more presentations.
good, good. So Tanuj, did you get the answer? So forget about appraisal, elevations to the next level, increment that is due at the year on only. I mean, that too, if you sustain in the organization, that's a different story altogether. Immediately, instantly, this is what happens. Expectation goes high, workload increases. And same thing happened with our friend Tanuj also. What Narendra is asking, Ki Tanuj, you have given me the revenue data. That's fine. I just want to know to generate this much of revenue, how much incentive we have paid. So now Tanuj has to go and create a new column. So let's start working together. Create a new column naming called incentive. And the moment you hit enter, see the beauty. What happens? Mm-hmm. क्या हो रहा है? Did you find the difference? The same formatting carried forward to the next column. Can you see that? Have you ever seen while working with table or you created some table and the formatting goes along with that? Never happens. And what we used to do in earlier time, we always used to go for home. This is the option we use the most called format painter. Do you agree with me? Just to apply the formatting. So today we are not going to use it anymore because we got the inbuilt formatting options. That is the advantage number one. Now coming to the formula for incentive calculation. Suppose in our organization we have a uniform policy. Whatever the revenue we generate, out of that 2% we always declare as incentive. So what should be the formula? Equal to our revenue data. When I take it, it always comes with this kind of format. What is the format? Like our at the rate symbol, square brackets, revenue USD column header, it comes automatically. You don't need to spend time for typing all these things. So just take the cell reference or automatically it will take this. Then multiply. How many percentage? 2%. So I'll go for 2% over here. And the moment I hit enter, see the beauty again. It is not only applying to a cell, but also the entire column. So you no need to go for Control D, dragging of mouse, double click on fill handle, Control Enter, nothing is required. Can you imagine how your speed is increasing because of that? So please give it a try and check it's working. Incentive column formula is ready with the answer.
Fast.
Mm-hmm.
can we customize this color combination? Means if I want to do some other color with means the table.
Yeah, you can do that. In fact, you can apply individually these colors also. You can change it. You can select, you can go to home, and you can change your own color. It's not necessary that that should be there. You can have your own colors also. No problem.
That effect will remain the same.
Yes, yes,
If I
yes.
add another column.
Yes, yes. See, if you go for another column over here, suppose say net revenue, I go for it, net revenue. Okay. So it is going to have that same effect.
Good, good.
How to remove that drop down option?
That is a filter button. It's not a drop down, it's a filter. See, there is a difference between drop down and filter. If any button comes inside the cell range, it is a filter button. If it is appearing outside of the cell range, it's a drop down. If you do not want, yes, we do have an option. You can keep your cursor anywhere in this header. You can see there is a table design or design button is activated in your extreme right of your ribbon menu. There is an option called filter button. You can deactivate that filter button over here.
Okay.
So can we change that bottom month color also? For example, Jan, March, May, in a one go.
Yeah, you can do that. In
Like
fact,
it.
yes, yes, you can do that. You can select this, all these things. You want to have one color of that. Okay, you can go for cell styles and you can change this. You can do that.
No, for alternate. Just like Jan is having the same color pattern like March and May.
Okay.
If I want to change from gray to some other color.
Yes, you can do that. In fact, you can select and you can manually change this. That always option on. It's all.
For the entire table.
Yes, yes,
Entire table.
yes. But you have to do it manually. That is the only thing. So what I suggest is, if at all any point of time you want to have your own format and you want to save it, we do have an option. Like take an example. This is the table I have created, and what I want to do, I want to go for selecting all these cells, holding the control button like this. Okay, I want to have a different color for this. Say, take an example. Okay. Now, when I go for this, I want to apply some styles over here, home cell styles. I want to go for application or something like this. For the timing I'm doing it, don't do that. And this style, whatever it is there, I have selected my whole table. I want to save this as a format or style. I can go to table design over here. In the quick styles, can you see there is an option called new table style?
Right.
So when you go for new table style, you can define, suppose this is the name, suppose my style. I would like to go for my style. Okay. Now here I can go for my style, anything like first row, how it is supposed to be, last row, how it's supposed to be, total row, what should be the format. All these things I can customize. Now say take an example. I would like to go for total row format. So total row format should be fill color. If I want to go for this color, total row, say light gray, light green, and font, I want to make it bold. Okay. And color, I want to make it white. I'm just giving a test over here. Okay. So color becomes white, fill color becomes our light gray, light green, all those things. If I want to apply the borders, I can go for application of borders. To all borders, I can go for borders on different colors. I can do that even. So it is up to you completely how you are going for application of the same. Now I'm just doing the colorful part. Okay. So this color, I'm defining it. Now this is showing me my bottom line or the total row. It will be coming up like this. Now the first row, suppose say I want to go for first row. So first row over here, it is showing stripe one, or second row, it is showing stripe length, or second column. All these customizing options we do have over here. Okay. Now suppose say I would like to change this style. Okay, I'm just keeping this style and I want to make it. I want to save it. So I have saved as my style. Okay. And I clicked OK. Now this style I want to apply over here. So when I go for selecting the table, whatever I have, if I go to table design, quick styles now, when I go for my new styles, okay, my styles over here, something will be saved. Let's see. Since it is there, let me just check it out. Going to home, our format as table. So let's take, yeah. So this custom, can you see one custom my style it is showing? We have named as my style, right? So can you see this is automatically applying the first row as my green color? This is what we have applied. Now, what we had applied there, the total row should be green. So when we have the total, suppose that here there is no total, I want to have a total. So total, I no need to create it. I can simply go to table design. There is an option called total row. This is yet to be selected. So when I go and select this, can you see automatically it turns out to the green color and font color white, all these things are happening, correct? So this is how whenever there is a need, you can have your own formatting, you can save it, and that will be listed as your own style. Whatever the style name, the custom style will appear over here. So you can play around with your own format, your organization's colors or 2, 3 colors combinations, anything you can customize this. Okay. Now suppose say I have created something and I don't like it. I want to delete it. You can simply right click on that custom format and you can delete. Very easy to delete. Okay. So net revenue, let's go and complete our calculations over here. So revenue is there, incentive is computed. What should be the net revenue? Basic mathematics. Revenue minus incentive. Do you agree? So equal to our B24 minus C24. And the moment you hit enter, is it applying the whole column? Yes. So how this table style helps us in terms of increasing our speed and getting the data populations quickly, we have understood all these things. So up to this clear, people? Any doubt, any queries, anybody?
Up to this is clear. I just want to know one thing about the incentive part. Okay. We have the ratios like 3,963, 1,637. Okay. So if there is a condition like we will give 3% incentive up to 3,500 and we will not take any incentive below 2,000 or 1,500. So at that time, how can we do the formula?
So that formula will be different. That formula will be the combinations of if formula, if logical, that is called
Yes,
nested if.
basically, I need to do this kind of things. So it's my real life code.
I
So
understood.
that's why I am asking because I am doing the incentive for all 130.
Right.
So that's why.
Right. We'll do that. When the time comes, we'll do. It's the part of our curriculum. Don't worry. So when we come to that stage of our if conditions, when because it's a flow we have designed. So we don't go for from some part from the day one, again we'll jump into day four. We'll not do like that. We'll go with your flow.
Not an issue. If this is in your post curriculum, then I don't have any problem. Then I need to know about it.
Right. You can make a note of that. This is going to be discussed in the training only. Don't worry. Okay.
Oh,
Right. Now, once we have done with these people, as I told you, total is always one essential element of our any of the table data. All right. But here technically it is not available and we no need to create also. So how to get it? Just see the beauty. When you keep your cursor in the table, there is a design or table design option is activated over here. It depends upon the versions of your Excel. The name will be slightly different. Somewhere it will be design, somewhere it will be table design, but options inside remains the same. And there we have an option called total row. The checkbox is not activated. You can see total row. You can activate this checkbox. And the moment you go and activate immediately, it will show the total of your net revenue column. What if I want my revenue column total? So here, if you just keep your cursor, can you see a drop down box is immediately ready? Now to make a total, if you go to the drop down, it will show the list of formulas. Ideally, to make a total, which formula helps us? We know sum. So when you go for some formula over here, immediately you will be finding the result over here. Okay. So this is how people you can notice now that how this format as table option is having the ready-made options. Only thing is we need to have the customizing the same options according to the need. So that's what our format as table. This is just a beginning, people. There are a lot of things we can explore about our table formatting and how this is going to help you. Again, in the day 4, at the end of the session, we will have a quick discussion. Then you can realize really this is really a great options of our Microsoft Excel. People are not using it. Trust me. They feel that, okay, this kind of at the rate symbols, square brackets are coming up quite confusing. They ignore it. But there are a lot of advantages of doing the same. Anyway, so over here, the moment we have done with this, as I told you, the data, when you have multiple columns, do not forget to keep your cursor in the tabular header, in the header or the footer in the row. Then go for Control A. The entire table would be selected. And I told you, always give a feel of a table by applying the borders. What is the shortcut? Alt, H for home, B for border, A for all border. This is the first thing we should do. Then, whenever you have got multiple columns, the latest style of tabular presentation, it says that first column should be always aligned to the left. Rest of columns should be always aligned to the center. And the keyboard shortcut, Alt, H for home, A for alignment, C for center. Now there is one more problem. Can you notice that? In our data, the incentive column headers is missing, properly not visible. Net revenue, partially it is visible. All these problems are there. And this is what happens with us most of the time. When you copy certain data from one Excel file to other, it always comes with the hash kind of symbols. And what we do, we take our mouse pointer and we keep on double click on the column headers and we keep expanding. And that is really annoying and time consuming. So instead of doing that, the best option what I suggest is whenever you copy and paste or you want to resize your column, depending upon the number of characters it is available. So we need to go for a process that is called auto fit of column width. How to do that? Alt O for format, C for column, A for auto fit. It will get adjusted. So what's the keyboard shortcut? Alt O for format. What you need to adjust? C for columns. What kind of adjustment? A for auto fit. So this is called auto fit of column width. If you want to do it with mouse, going to home, format, auto fit of column width. You can do that. So is it clear so far? Whatever we discussed, people, any doubt, any queries?
Prabhas,
Mhm.
for
Sorry?
for after alt, O is for which option?
O4 format, not from this window, that is from older version of Excel, that is O4 format.
Okay.
Then C for column, A for autofit. Now, once we have done with this, as I told you in the previous case, the business maths case, that we should present our data properly. Like each and every data in Excel, they are recognized with the proper format. Like number should be in number format, date should be in date format, time should be in time format, percentage data should be in percentage format, currency data should be in currency format. So here, our numbers, kindly select starting from revenue to the net revenue column, whatever the numbers, it should be expressed with proper number formatting. So what is the meaning by proper number formatting? What is the meaning by number formatting? Like it should have a decimal, post decimal maximum 2 characters. Before decimal, there should be a comma separator. We can call it as billion, million, or thousand separators over there. So all these three things, how to make it happen with one go? The best option I told you, to convert any format to number format. What was that? Control, Shift, and 1. I repeat, Control, Shift, 1. When you press together, that is going to give us our entire data into number formatting. So kindly check Control, Shift, 1. Are you getting your data converted into proper number formatting? Now, once we have this, suppose post decimal characters is not in the paisa, it is there, or since it is there, it is not playing any role. You want to remove the same. You can go to home and you can go for decrease decimal twice, 2 taps, you can make it. Else, you can make it as Alt H9, Alt H9. So Alt H and 9. What it happens? Alt H for home and numerical value 9, it shows decrease decimal. Okay. Similarly, you can go for to increase decimal also options Alt H0, the numerical value to increase decimal. Fine then. So we have done with our data presentation sheet, people. We'll proceed to our next is called date calculation. So kindly go to the sheet naming called date calculation. So over here, let me take you through what is the exercise we need to do. Now, suppose say these are the employees who are working in our department. Okay. And management has given a task to me, suppose stating that, Prabhas, whoever the employees they are working with you, please find out their experience as on date and submit a report to us. This is what management has asked. And they have given me the respective employees' date of joining. So employees code is there with me, date of joining with me. I need to find out their experience in terms of years, months, and days. And I need to submit that report. So what will be my answer? How to deal with the same? So first of all, what we do, we think, is it really our job? Yes or no? Whose job it is? Finding employees experience and all, technically whose job it is? Yes, Narendra, what's your belief?
HR department.
Obviously. So why then management has given this task to us? So HR department, they have to do their job. So can I say no when it is asked by the management? Can I say no? It's not my part of scope of work or something. This is a we have a dedicated department for that. Why don't you check with them? Can you say something like this?
No, absolutely not.
Never. So why management has given the task? Though they are aware of HR people, they have got their own calculation, but still they would like to reconcile. So they are seeking the individual department wise report. So that one they can consolidate and they can check with the HR reports. That is called our double check system. Every organization they do like this. Anyway, so now as we discussed already, date related when answers are there, we have to be pinpoint accurate. So in this case, what would be our answer? How to get that with no time? That is what we are going to discuss. So here our experts, they will suggest you different types of solutions. But if you ask them, are you confident about your formula? They will surrender. They will say, that's your job to check it out. You asked for help, we did it. So what's the point? When you are helping and you are not confident about your formulas, then why I take your help? Obviously. So here I'll tell you friends, there is only one way out. There is a hidden formula of Excel whose name is date diff. It's a hidden formula. Since 1985 till 2021, this formula is hidden because of certain drawback. But trust me, there is a formula called dative. And people always does the wrong pronunciation for this. They believe there is a if logical clause is there and they should read it as dated if. But actually, this is date related formula. You must read it as date, little bit pause, diff, date, diff. You should pronounce it like this. And to prove that it's a hidden formula, I will show you something. No need to do anything. So far, whatever the formulas we have discussed any point of time, if I go for a formula ed, immediately Excel gives a helping hand or instructions what is edit. And if I go for tab key, it also helps me in identifying the formula how to write properly. Whereas if I go for date diff, do you see I'll get some kind of helping hand? No, because it's a hidden formula. So since it is a hidden formula, let's work together. So keep your cursor exactly below to year and type a formula is equal to date diff. Make sure you're typing the spelling properly. Start working with me. Is equal to DATEDIF. Bracket open. What would be the elements? How to write it? Instructions are not visible. So to make it logical, any date formula, if you work, it always start with a start date. So in our case, what is our start date? Nothing but date of joining. Makes logical. So equal to date div, bracket open, take your start date. Okay. Then comma. What is the next input? Whenever you are calculating the difference between two setup of dates, always the second input would be end date. Now, since we have taken the date of joining as the start date, what will be the end date? Till what you are computing? Till today? Until today we are computing, right? So today, do you have today's date anywhere? No. So we don't need to go and create another column and define today's date. See the beauty. To define our today's date, we have a ready-made formula in our Excel called today. So go and apply today, open bracket and close bracket. Okay, comma. What's the next one? We are computing the difference in the year column. So our third input has to refer to the year column. So do one thing. Take the blank cell about to the year text. For the timing, please follow the instruction. Bracket close. So date diff, what are the elements? We are clear. Start date, comma, end date, comma, our Excel operator reference. So since we are computing year, so Excel operator should define our year computing. Okay. So when I hit enter, it is giving me error. We know the reason why there is an error. Because of 3 inputs, only 2 inputs we have got the value. Third one is still defining to a blank cell. So kindly go to that blank cell, and to represent our year, we know there is an Excel text operator. What is that? Y. So just hit Y and enter. Are you getting the result? So date diff, though it is a hidden formula, how to write it? What is the role of today formula? To generate today's date in the formula. What is the role of our Y? To define our year text operator.
Can we do that last condition in double quote also? Double quote Y?
Yeah, you could have done that, but I have my own reason. So you please follow my instructions. You will come to know in another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, people, could you please confirm? Though date diff is a hidden formula, is it clear? Y stands for year. You know, that's what we explained, right? In the business maths case, when I was presenting our date format. What is the date format we follow all the time? DDMMYY or MMDDYY.
Okay. That Y means year.
Right.
Okay.
Now, we have got the answer for year. Let's go and do a practice finding the answer for month and day also. For month, you can define M, and for day, you can define just D. And let's go and practice with, again, date diff is equal to date diff, start date, C6, comma, end date, today formula, comma, Excel operator reference. Similarly, for day also is equal to date diff, start date, date of joining, comma, end date, today's date, that is today formula, and comma, Excel operator reference. So did you receive the answer like this?
If I hit Control Enter, then the whole columns will take the answer
No,
in this formula.
no. So that's why we are going step by step. You will do that. Don't worry. Just give me another 2 minutes. You can do that. So now in the year column, month column, and day column, we got the answer for a particular employee's experience. So can I take that everybody has received the same answer? So in this format, Can I express my employee's experience in this format? Like 13 years, 164 months, 5008 days. Is it a right way to express someone's experience in this format? No. Then what is that we have received? This is nothing but difference in the terms of component wise, like year wise 13, month wise 164, day wise 5008 days. But our requirement is something different. When we go and combine together, it should give me the entire difference. Or the other way, if you discuss in the month column, if you look at how many months are there, 164. And we know one thing, whenever number of month reaches to 12, it becomes 1 year. Now, if I happen to know how many complete years are there in 164 months, what you do? What is the basic mathematics we do? Equal to number of months divided by 12. Do you agree with this formula? Any point of time, if you want to find out how many years are there in the month, we'll go for a simple formula like this. Now, this is showing me 13 decimal 666 and 7 and all. So what does it mean? 13 complete years. That is already taken in the year. That cannot be ever expressed again in the months, isn't it? So month column should display only 0.6667 and all. And to make it happen, what we can do, going to Excel operator, instead of M, we'll go for YM. So YM stands for year to month. The incomplete month in a complete year. And the moment I hit enter, can you see? The entire 13 years it has been removed and it is left over only with the month details. Similarly, instead of D, I'll go for MD, month to date. The incomplete days in a complete month. And the moment I hit enter, complete years have been removed, complete months have been removed, and it is left out only with the incomplete days in a complete month. So, how to write our dative formula? We have understood. What is the role of today formula? We are clear. What is the uses of Y, YM, MD to represent our year, year to month, month to date, respectively? That also we are clear. Any doubt so far? Right? So here, once we have got a particular employee's experience, the answer, the same formula, we can apply towards down also. So how to apply the formula towards down? Either we can drag or double click, or we can select and control D to fill down. So what happens? Can you notice? Except the first one, rest of the cases, it is showing error. Why? If you keep your cursor in the first error of the year column, you can realize when I copy the formula down, you can notice my start date alone is moving to C6 to C7. But my Excel operator should not move, but it is moving because this is the default nature of Excel. You can't help. And there the problem starts. So though I am looking for my first employee or the last employee, only date of joining cell should move, not the Excel operator. So this is the problem. So how to rectify? What we need to do? We can select the entire column, which is not supposed to move. That alone, we should lock it by hitting F4. This is what we know, and this is what we discussed in our small and large case also, if you remember. Right, people? Formula is rectified only with one cell, but we need to apply for the entire range. Shortcut, Control Enter. Got it. Similarly, I'll go to my month column. Which one is not supposed to move? E4. Lock it. Control Enter. Similarly, for day, which one is not supposed to move? F4 cell. Lock it. Control Enter. So now the formula is rectified. Check it out, please. Is it working? So when is clear that how to rectify the formula? Did you receive your results? Or any doubt, any queries, any confusion? Because what we are discussing now, it is going to be repeated in day 2, day 3, and day 4 as well. So that's why I'm going a bit slow to make you understand, to make your entire fundamental things clear. So tomorrow when we go for it, you will not be struggling around. And this is what we need the most. This F4 key is playing a very, very great role in our daily formulas. So have you received the answer for year, month, and day? The formulas should be like looking like this. All right. Now, once we have received this answer, just watch my screen and follow my audio. I'm asking a question. Going to each and every column, editing the formula, locking the cells, and operating 3 different times. Are you comfortable doing the same? Definitely no. So when you are not comfortable, how you believe that Excel is ever recommending for the same? This is what our experts, they recommend us. We should do the job like this. But Excel never recommends for that. Neither I do advise. Reasons you know. So what should be the answer? How to get it over here? So what we did basically, people, this is what the wrong practice. So we should remove it. We should not do like this. Yes. Sometimes we need to learn from our own mistakes. So the mistakes, what we not supposed to do, we did that. Now, how to make some improvements on this? Let's see. As we develop the practice, first we select our solution array where you need to define or create or you get your answer. That array we have selected. Fine. Now we have gone for over here equal to immediately date diff. Okay. Now, what is the first input as we discussed? Anybody quickly?
We'll select date of joining.
Right.
Joining date.
Joining date. Very good. Now hold on there. When I go for date of joining, it has picked up one address naming C6. In C6, what is the role of C? Anybody?
It's a column that's showing. C is the column and 6 is the row.
Right. So C is the column and 6 is the row. So what is cell? Are we clear? Cell is nothing but the intersection point of column and rows. So first is column, second is row. Right. And when I copy this formula towards down, C6 will move to C7, C8, C9, C10. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Now, when the movement is happening, what is sounding common? C6, C7, C8, C9, C10. Which one sounds common?
C.
C. So what we have understood, our data is moving, but data is moving within a column. So when data is moving within a column, instead of locking the cell, lock only the column. And to lock the column only, we need to bring the dollar symbol before column. And to bring the dollar symbol before column, we should go for hitting F4 key 3 times. We should hit our F4 key thrice. So a dollar symbol will appear before column. Now, what is going to happen the setup? Dollar $C6. So when I copy this formula towards down, dollar $C6 will move to dollar $C7 because row is free. But when I copy this formula towards right, dollar $C6 will never move to dollar $D6 because column is locked. So this setup, we call it as column constant, column freeze, or column lock. So what is column freeze, column lock, column constant? Is it clear? I'll go step by step. Comma. Next, what is the next input as we discussed?
Today.
Today formula. We can apply and over here. This will generate today's date anywhere it goes. So we don't need to lock this and locking is not needed. Comma. What is the third input?
Y.
The Excel operator. When you go for Excel operator, what it takes? D4. So when I copy this formula towards down, D4 should not move down. That was a problem we have already noticed. D4 should not move down. But when I copy this formula towards right, D4 should move to E4 for month calculation. E4 should move to F4 for our day calculation. So there is a movement now. D4, E4, F4. Which one sounds common? Is the 4. What is 4? 4 is the row. So we have understood our data is not stopping, our data is moving. Data is moving within a row. So when data is moving within a row, we need to lock the row only. So to lock the row only, we need to bring the dollar symbol before row number. And to bring the dollar symbol before row number, F4 twice. So this is the setup missing. We have provided now. Now what is going to happen? When I copy this formula towards down, D4 will never go to D5 since row is locked. But when I copy this formula towards right, D4 will definitely go to E4 since column is free. So this is called our row constant, row freeze, or row lock. And since this setup was missing, now we have provided, but we have defined only with one cell. But we need to apply for the rest of the cells, which is selected. What is the shortcut we learned?
Control enter.
Control enter. See the beauty. One go, one shot, entire formula is ready and giving the answer. So this is how people you are supposed to design your formula in a table. All right. So hope this makes sense. Helpful, time saving. So Taking the live data, you got to practice people. These are the essential things for creating any kind of your summary report, dashboards, templates. You have to keep all these formulas ready well in advance, because you cannot keep on changing the formulas depending upon the data changes and all. So whatever the situation, formula should be ready enough to answer. So this is it from our day one side. Okay. Any doubt, any queries from our day one? In the formulas, whatever we discussed in the business maths, small, large, sum product, M round, if, E date, text, year formula. Then how to make our data informative, taking different statistical calculations. How to make our data presentable by taking the format as table options. Some keyboard shortcuts to do the minimum formatting, like all borders, Alt HPA, all center, all HEC, then making entire data formatted with autofit of column width, Alt OCA, to convert any format to number format, Control Shift 1, to convert any format to date format, Control Shift 3, to convert any format to percentage format, Control Shift 5. All these things regarding formatting, the keyboard shortcuts, how it is so helpful, we have discussed. Then we have seen to compute the difference between two setup of dates, taking the hidden formula for Excel naming called date diff, and what is the role of our today formula inside to get this today's date generated over there in the formula, and that will be dynamic. And what is the role of operator like ym, md, y for year, ym for year to month, and md for month to date. And then the uses of our F4 key: once to cell lock, twice to row lock, thrice to column lock. All these things we are understood. So any doubt for the day? So before coming to the closer of the session, let me ask certain things. Anything is missing or any improvement is needed. So we have got other sessions we can incorporate on the same. So I'll be asking the question. Only thing is you have to answer with yes or no, or if you have some opinion, you can share it. You have the freedom of speech, you can write it. So first thing, whether the speed is okay. Can we maintain the same speed for the rest of the sessions? Okay. Content is relevant, able to connect. That these are those places where we used to spend a lot of time. Now you are getting some confidence to make the things better. All queries are clarified. Anything is pending or yet to be clarified in the mode of training, I declared that okay, at the end of the session we'll discuss something like that. All right then. So we are good to go. Okay. So only thing is, please just go for a quick refresh of the things whatever you have learned today, and be ready from, I mean, for tomorrow's class also, same time, meeting room. I request everyone join the meeting room 5 minutes before the scheduled time, and ensure all your video or audio, anything working or it is functional. And dot 2 o'clock will be starting with our training. If at all any doubts or queries are there, please drop me a message in well in advance in the meeting room, so that sorry, in our WhatsApp group, so that I can log into the meeting room in time by 1:45 p.m. max. And we'll be utilizing that 15 minutes, 1:45 p.m. to 2 p.m. for doubt clarification. And dot 2 p.m. we'll be starting with our day two topic. And tomorrow's agenda will be like how to work around with our data analytical tool of Excel, how to do the error management or error handling by working with our SAP or ERP driven data, how to work around with our filter options or some filter hacking techniques, how to present our data effectively so that people will be happy watching our presentations. All these things tomorrow we are going to discuss. Okay. And as committed today, maximum by 9 p.m., the recordings will be available in your respective email IDs as a YouTube links. And the same, a copy also, I'll be sending it across in the WhatsApp group as well. All right. Fine.
Prabhas,
Yeah.
I will call you at 1:40. I'll text you.
Yeah, no
You
problem.
can
No
join
problem.
at 1:45.
Yes. We'll
So that
discuss
we
that.
can,
Yeah. How to
Yeah,
create
I'll
the
learn
calendar.
from you that calendar
Yes.
later.
Yes. Definitely for sure. Okay.
Sir, Ramshan here.
Yes, and then. Yeah.
Sir, my Excel that can you do in separate teams now?
आपका लैपटॉप का ना
हाँ.
हाँ मुझे 10 मिनट दे दीजिए थोड़ा एक मैं चाय पी लेता हूँ
हाँ.
फिर बैठते हैं ओके
ठीक है सर.
ओके तो आपको मैं मीटिंग लिंक वही व्हाट्सअप करूंगा फिर से उस मीटिंग लिंक पे ज्वाइन करिएगा ठीक है
ठीक है.
ओके चलो fine then people so stay safe take care see you tomorrow the same time okay so till then bye bye
Thank you.
yeah good night
Thank you, Baba.